should have never gotten hooked. Probably, but Dota is a lot like life, you know? Shit happens, you have to deal with it.
Hooking Tong Fu players with Chen teleport was one of the most amazing things that I've done. It was vicious, and I was part of it.
I was very angry watching the game. It's not really so much against Navi as against the rules.
A lot of people were saying it's very unfair or wrong. We came into the player lounge and I saw a lot of screaming.
Remove that from the game. That was the biggest joke I've ever seen.
The biggest fucking joke I've ever seen.
There's these rules about bug abuse, but what is bug abuse and what is not. I'm still a bit salty about it, I think.
Like, how can you win? How can you even be allowed to win that way? Tong Fu had that game. Is that balance? You hook a guy with eggs? It should be. Oh my fucking god.
It's not fair, it's not fair. Disqualification.
Yeah, he was definitely like, you guys don't deserve it or something like that. And they're like, whatever, dude.
Let them try this thing. They can do it, go on, try this thing.
You have to respect the skill that it took for those fountain hooks to happen. If it was completely broken and super easy to do, everyone would be doing it. They weren't afraid to try it or make it happen.
I was sure the game was fair, even after like I heard those screamings.
因为在我们那个中国人眼里，就是觉得输了就是输了，就是不会说因为它全日勾是一个可能相对来说比较不太平衡的一个东西吧，然后会去埋怨什么东西。我们就觉得输了就是我们自己技不如人吧，包括国内的也都会觉得对方会觉得对方打得厉害，不会说因为这个东西太 bug 了或者怎么着。
这也是下一年赢得 TI 的一个原因吧，但是当时我没有找他们讨论过这个问题吧，我怕提起他们的伤心事，他们打我。
Some exploits are fun and good. This was one of them. Maybe a bit too strong, but still.
It was too strong.
就之后削掉的倒是就是没什么了嘛。
You can discredit the game, but in reality, like, Dota is still the same. You can still win games in the most weird ways that haven't been seen or done.
It's the same for everyone, so it's fair for everyone, and it's just kind of a part of the way Dota tournaments go.
She's very active, smiley, happy, all the time energized. You think, wow, where does she get all this energy?
Who is this
Casey.
他是一个应该是主持吧。
Casey is, I mean, she's what do you call it, a hostess?
My job at TI is to make the players look good. I want to know how they're feeling in the moment and allow the audience to get to know them in perhaps a way they haven't yet. How are you feeling about the tournament so far? What has been the highlight for you?
Having a diarrhea every single day.
What was that?
Having a diarrhea every single day.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds lovely. I'm going to send it back to James. Thank you again.
Ice. He's just really good at making situations awkward.
You didn't mean diarrhea. You mean diary, like you wrote your diary this morning. And they're like, nope, diarrhea. Oh, God. Folks, I heard him right. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew it made me feel uncomfortable. And I respect him for that.
She was really good at taking the awkwardness and making it really funny.
We rolling? How about now? We rolling? When you're first talking to them, players take a little bit of time to warm up to you. And then you ask them to scream, you expect them to go, 1, 2, 3. You win. I was sent to the Players Lounge to interview Ice. And keep in mind, I don't know anything about the game. I haven't been watching it. I don't recognize the professional players. So you're going to be playing tonight in the one-on-one championship, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you Ice Ice Ice?
No.
What's your name?
I'm not.
Are you Michael?
No, they're trolling you.
This entire room is going. Hi. How's it going? That's right. I like immediately went back to when I was in middle school and everybody was laughing at me for something. I have no idea what it was. There's something going on here that I'm not aware of. One of the hardest interviews to do is if you're talking to someone who does not want to speak to you. Is it that they are nervous? Or is it that they just don't want to frickin' talk to me right now? He's like, yes, please move on. All right, duly noted. I'm gonna stand up and move. There's so much trolling, I don't even know how to navigate this. I don't mind looking stupid, I don't mind looking silly, I don't mind looking bad, but I never want to make someone that I interview look bad.
Casey is doing great. Like, she's doing great for the scene. When she comes to TI, she interacts with these crazy-ass fans.
I think she does a good job understanding people and getting people to open up a little bit.
I want to get trolled by Ice Ice Ice.
I've been trolled by Ice Ice Ice. He's really good at it. My job is to also give a voice to the fans and give them an opportunity to come together as a community and connect with the players. You can't be afraid to not look polished. I'm anti-polish. Be yourself, be in the moment, show how you're feeling. If I had a time machine, I would go back to 10-year-old me and I would start playing Dota 2. And I would be here as a player and I would be going for $18 million. And y'all be interviewing me and you'd ask me questions and I'd say, I don't know, I have diarrhea.
I think I've seen that clip like at least 100 times. It's legendary.
You know, the whole venue was just echoing. It was just, really easy to root for, our, fellow countrymen.
That was a great part of Dota history, the meme-making game, Liquid versus LGD.
Best of one, loser eliminated, winner in the top 8. The draft complete, the players now selecting their heroes. And here we go.
Team USA is having the home crowd behind them.
I think going into that match, I don't think Liquid really, liked their odds very much. They were just gonna leave it all out on the field and, it was enough. LGD was, a top dog of that tournament and, they were, predicted to win.
And it's gonna be a Boba clockwork, making a comeback here. Boba still doing pretty well mid. I actually would say it's very even.
I remember Boba. He was really performing on his clockwork, making some insane plays.
Against LGD China. Could there be a turnaround?
It was like my first ever tournament. This was like a big moment for me because I wanted to prove myself. This game was everything for us.
They need a hook. Boba finds one. That's going to be on Xiaowei.
And I was getting all these kills with clockwork. I just killed Xiaowei when he was split pushing with Furion. And then finally there was a big team fight in their base and I had a really good hook on 2 people. At that point I couldn't really hold it anymore. I just started getting up in my seat even though the game wasn't over. And now I'll look back and say, wow, what was I doing?
I used to have a soundboard, and my #1 most clicked one was the LD part when Liquid, they won. I think it goes like this. Siler to fall, Liquid are doing it.
Siler to fall, Liquid are doing it!
And Boba is on his feet. I believe that's how it goes, but it's so epic.
Everyone loves an underdog and being able to cheer for the home crowd favorite and getting behind them and all these personalities on the team, especially Sam. It's an easy personality to cheer for. He's just a kid who wants to do well at his first big tournament and take it home to his family and his parents. And I imagine he was just totally overwhelmed and full of energy and excitement, and soaking in the crowd was his way of releasing that emotion.
I think the fans loved it. The crowd was going pretty crazy because it was the first time an American team had ever done anything, so that was pretty cool.
Before that, the American scene was very bad.
North American Dota. Yeah.
It was cool to see that everyone can beat everyone in tournaments like this, so everyone have a chance to win tournament.
I like to think that game will be remembered as a turning point, and it proves that anyone can really do it.
I think for any team that is in the finals, that's just 100% focus. You know that you're the two best teams in the world. Either of you could win. It's a very weird feeling. It feels like you need to win this with all your soul and body and mind. You know, like everything that you've achieved in Dota and that you've done in Dota has built up until this moment.
Some people maybe feel pressured. Crowd was always very friendly to us. The crowd would help us a lot. Big scene is good for us, but for someone else, I don't know, it's different.
50,000, 500,000, 2 million people are watching, like, okay, that's great. It's a lot of pressure. Playing with thousands of spectators watching you, you're more prone to make mistakes because you're thinking about it more. Just keep your cool and not let any distractions such as the crowd or, you know, the pressure get to you. Guarantee you someone else on the other team will let it get to them, so if you're able to keep your cool, you're probably going to win.
Dota is a sick mental game. It brings out the best and worst in you. Who ended up winning the mental warfare always won the series. That's how you're going to win tournaments. That's how you win the tournament. And, if you break the other mind, it gets really easy. Some minds are really hard to beat, though.
Well, at TI5, I had no anxiety. Like, I was totally comfortable in my own skin, and I think that I played really well, and everything was great. But then I go to the Summit 4, you know, it's $100,000 tournament versus this $18 million tournament. I'm sitting there in the finals, down 0-2 against VP, and I'm just like having trouble breathing. It's weird like that, and you don't know when anxiety is gonna hit you. If you're freaking out, you know, somebody else is probably freaking out too.
Just a screw up in the game, you made a mistake in the game and that's why you lost. Those things can happen, but those things should not eat you. Sadly, a lot of people end up thinking about their loss a lot because they could have done better.
To lose in finals, just one step before winning, it's hit you much harder.
输了以后，第一个感觉就是我很对不起所有的粉丝，因为他们一直以来都很支持我，尤其是在场所有的观众也是在呼喊着我的名字，所以我觉得很对不起他们。然后过后我很伤心，然后我就出去躲在厕所啊，出去啊，一直流眼泪，就很久才能平复下我的心情。
It doesn't matter if we lose or not. Just those words reminds us of what we've done and that we don't need to be afraid of losing. It sounds like maybe not a winning mentality, but I think it's the opposite. You remove the fear of losing, so you would not be afraid to do risks, which can be very necessary in these games.
I hadn't won a lot in my career up until, pre-TI4, but then after we started winning, it was a different kind of scene for me. You got more fans, you got more prestige, everything changes when you start winning.
Things just worked out for us, and TI5 was our tournament to win. That was one of 2 tournaments we won throughout that entire year, and it was the big one.
觉得自己这是真的吗？就是我当时拿完冠军第一时间就问自己这是真的吗？也没有一些很高兴的一些反应，然后觉得后面确定自己不是在做梦，然后就非常的兴奋吧。
就是如果我会给一个没有打过 TI 决赛的人的意见的话，就是当你打 TI 决赛的时候，就那几个小时，希望可以好好的珍惜，因为时间过得很快，一下子就会过去，然后你会很后悔当时没有好好的享受。
The strongest players doesn't win, it's the strongest team that wins. And it's almost always like that. If you don't perform every second of your games, you might lose to a team that's actually not better than you, but they're just hungrier.
I don't think any Dota player will go into these games and crumble under pressure. This is when you get your strongest. This is when it's going to be the hardest to break you. I strongly believe that if I woke up a morning and I had to play the TI final, I would play the best Dota of my life. And that's all that would matter to me. If I played my very best, nothing else would matter.
So in one of the most iconic Dota games, I think that will go down in history, is Game 4 of TI8 with OG versus PSG LGD. It was a game full of unforgettable moments.
Sam, he catches over!
They're going for top, they're trying to make space. Is it off? Sam gets the call!
One of these unbelievable plays, everyone missed it, including me.
He's got eyes on him. Got the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Anna. Anna, he's in trouble. The blood right silence connects. He's got the man to back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Anna down for a minute and a half.
And I was like, what happened? Like, I didn't quite understand.
People were asking us like, what about the Ana, the selling items? I was like, what are you talking about? Which item did he sell?
It's actually hard for anyone to understand because it all happens so fast. Ana, I think he just immediately recognized, I'm dead. We lose the game. I need to do whatever possible to clutch this. So he drags his items and sells them to ensure that he has the buyback gold.
My buyback sold.
The buyback?
Yeah.
It takes me 40 seconds to break it down. It happened in what, 1 second, half a second? Like he realized they were ganking, he's checking his buyback goal, and in the meantime he's juking them. He's doppelgangering with PL, microing an illusion to fake like it's the real one. I mean, that happened in 1 second,
I mean, it's mental. If you go back to the moment and you ask somebody to do that play in that stress situation, he might, fumble because it's such a high pressure situation. Yet Anna does it very cool, calm, collected.
The later the game went, like they had no chance. We knew that, and I think Anna recognizing that and being able to sell the item, I think it's ridiculous, but also like genius level.
They would have absolutely lost. That's like right. I think that was even before the moment where the Seb call happened. Like this all led up to just legendary moments in TI.
Challenge 3 down on LGD. OG hitting the ancient, We're going to a game.
Dude, I love this game so much, man.
We are going to
The best plays come from just feeling it. Like you don't have to think about it. For some reason, through all those like tens of thousands of hours of Dota, you've learned to see an angle.
It's incredible. This instinct when you're just playing the game and you're not really thinking. I mean, to make a play like that, it's wild, man. That's a real 900 IQ play.
One of the coolest things about Dota is that there's room for individual plays. And nothing stands out more than a simple juke.
and now Burning. He's got the double gun. Oh, he's going for the mind games there. He's doing it. Oh my God, does he actually get out of this as well?
I think what makes a great juke in Dota is the anticipation and understanding of the situation.
One of the best jukes that I've ever seen was Zai when it came to Evil Geniuses versus Newbie in the upper bracket at TI6. He had this sick play as Elder Titan where he completely lost Newbie.
Here around as best as possible. Zai trying to play around this rush. KP trying to juke out the Burrow strike. He knows it's coming. Did he just do it? Oh, he's in the stall. Zai, he throws out the stall. KP, he forced out himself way, blinks back in, goes for the right click. Unbelievable. Jukes him out beautifully by Zai.
One of the biggest things in Dota is what's going on when you can't see parts of the map, Like, if you can't see it, you don't really know what's going on there. You don't know where people are, and you're scared. So it's just me left against KPI. I think I'm super low on HP, and I'm pretty close to dying. And so I just, gave it a shot. Because the rush areas, it's incredibly tricky with fog sometimes. So if you see from his perspective,
I'm just like disappearing and popping out over and over again until I finally leave the pit and then manage to force Steph on the high ground.
Yeah, double fog, force Steph high ground, juke the stun. Nasty.
That's just Zai. He's very good at positioning, and he's rarely wrong. So if you think you're out-calculating him, you're probably not.
He's a pretty serious, kind of stoic, quiet guy, but in game he plays with a lot of personality, and I think that's why he's a huge fan favorite amongst everyone. I think the pressure is definitely on the person trying to catch the person that's juking. So KPI probably felt a little embarrassed after Zai got away in that situation.
He just got played, you know? It happens.
Okay. What does that take you back to?
Looking back, it's not a really good play anyway. In a real situation, I should get the kill like 100% almost because I have stun available, I have force staff. And maybe if I like force staffed first up the hill and then saved my stun, I would have got him as well. But I just stunned because I went with my instinct and I missed. And then he TP'd away, so it looked pretty bad for me. But yeah, it was a good play by him. Like.
And you missed by like a unit.
Yeah.
Evil Geniuses, off of winning this match, managed to go forward all the way and place third and win $2 million. Newbie, on the other hand, they just bottom out of the tournament. So this match mattered a lot.
A good juke is tough to come by. There's, really just a best way to play every situation. But occasionally there's some wiggle room, and that's where the outplays and the jukes become possible.
I think juking is always instinctual to some extent, but probably for every great play, there's a bit of luck involved as well.
The International Grand Finals is a strange place to try unorthodox builds, but that didn't stop Thompson at TI9.
OG versus Team Liquid Grand Finals Game 4.
Look at that build by Thompson. Diffusal gyrocopter.
Wait, what?
Diffusal? It gives you a lot of agility and it gives you ways to run around and chase heroes down, I guess.
It's Liquid.
Different.
Did you guys talk about that beforehand?
Nope, we did not talk about anything that we were buying or doing, more or less. I mean, we had everything that we talked through, but the diffusal gyro is not a thing that we ever came up.
No, we didn't know. No, I don't think we knew. We didn't practice it a single time.
We were in the middle of something, something was going on in the game, like, I don't know, we were smoking or something. And then I was like, all right, my gyro just got a diffu, I just made a joke out of it, and then we just kept on playing, right? We just trusted him.
Hi, diffu. You guys know mana? Yeah, I rocket at the Omni.
They have diffu actually, they're gonna remove my mana.
I can kill the Wisp.
I won't have mana.
There we have it, Miracle's mana. It's pretty much entirely gone by Thompson's focus. He'll look towards GHG. He's trying to roll off, but he can't get out. There's no mana. He's dead. OG pushing Liquid back to the base. Mind control out of mana. Thompson with his diffusal blade picking them apart. The diffusal
is absolutely working. He burned all their mana.
That I don't think anyone would have expected to see Gyro, the deciding game.
I mean, I always had a bit of a different view on Gyro. And that game specifically, we were playing against some Bristol, Omni, heroes that are really mana dependent and are really tanky. So like, you buy some mage, what does it do? Not really much. Basically the problem was like, if they run out of mana, their heroes are pretty useless, basically. So I was like, diffu, so like, why not? Just try it.
You thought you saw it all in game 2, you thought you saw it all in game 3, and there it is, gold! OG are your two-time TI champions, they've done it, folks!
Yeah. How did he thought about it? Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
It's good against you.
He won him the game.
Yeah, it's
Well, my mana,
you need to stick to his
Vivi mana, and he burnt, he just was so good. That's different.
Yeah, he's playing fast. واحد وصلت لبنان انت برافو.
Fucking Popsa.
I was not surprised by the diffu itself. I was more like
very like, wow, he's really good. Like he's smart kind of thing, because doing that, it takes a lot of courage. It takes creativity. There's just very few players who have an open mind, and Topson is one of these players.
Flopson is like, he's a master of weird builds. He thrives in an area where like he knows something more than you do. It's really good to see, like somebody pushing the ideas.
I try to not be influenced by like other players' play style, and I just try to do what I think is the best thing to do instead of doing what they think is the best thing to do. Yeah.
Dota, again, is such a nice game because things come together in a funny way, and this was the perfect item build in the perfect situation. And for Topson to make that call, yeah, it was genius. It was genius.
He just felt like buying Diffu. Honestly, at the end of the day, that's all it is. Just like when you play a lot of Dota and when you're really good at the game, you have that instinct, you have these ideas, you just gotta trust yourself and go with them.
Especially when you're against Primal Beast techies, they're already two great targets to morph into.
Yeah, you've got a lot of possibilities coming out there. The one funny thing I'd like to see is, could you turn on Trample and then Waveform? That sounds pretty funny if you could do that.
Got legs.
Yeah, or you know, just
legs, John.
The water just quakes. You know, it gets really dense. You could turn on Uproar and then turn back with the bonus damage, right? That could be one way as well. So a lot of interesting possibilities out here.
I mean, theoretically, with the trample and the trample morphing, that's a tsunami, John. It's an earthquake into a tsunami. There you go. Lion Clockwork to come out here for T1. So the Lion making an appearance, one of your favorites, and the Clockwork is one of my favorites making an appearance here, Jonathan. How do you feel about these two picks?
I'm actually more excited by the fact that Cuckoo is probably playing an offlane Undying. Like, ooh. I think that's one criticism T1's gotten, right? Like, a few of the fanboys say Cuckoo's kind of lost his juju, but Cuckoo is Cuckoo. And if this is the offlane Undying, I'm keen to see what he does, because that has looked good. KP's made it look good in the offlane. It's just looked really, really strong. So much early presence. March looks a lot jollier right now, too. He doesn't look as serious. The atmosphere in T1 looks a lot lighter.
He looked serious a second ago. John Cuckoo started laughing, and March was just laughing back, saying, listen, you're laughing now. You lose this game. We might have to get some more OG members on this team. You better be careful, Cuckoo.
Oh, goodness. The threats come out.
I mean, you never know. You got to be careful. You never know. Still, fourth pickup, RSG.
Slark.
Look, go for the Slark pickup. This is a POS 1 that's been very, very popular as of late. Very strong in the current meta. Of course, we constantly see the Ags build up with the double pounce. Huge range on that pounce as well. Very good against the Morphling, just taking the stats away, rooting him, or rather leashing him in place. Can be very effective. And even against a hero like Undying. Like, Undying wants to steal strength away. You just take it back. And the tankier the Undying gets, the tankier you get as a Slark, because you're just taking stats over and over again. It's like, yeah, it's like almost transferring from your teammates to you. Like, he takes it from your teammates, then you take it back from him, so then your teammates are effectively giving you stats as a Slark.
Oh, yeah, it's a feedback loop, a positive feedback loop, I suppose, for RSG's end. And I do like the Slark, not just for that, but just having this spell on hand, having a way of jumping out of the Clockwork's hookshot cogs battery assault combo, it can be pretty safe. And you've always got the save of that the shard, right? Like the Shadow Dance and the AoE for your teammates. It's going to be big in kind of stalling these fights out as well. And this is an MKS special. Like, we've seen him pick this up from the DPC as well. One of the few players that does dip into that Slark. I think the only time in C we saw that was from MKS, and I want to say Savage. So he knows this hero in and out. It does look like a fairly good game for it as well. I am really curious how they close out in RSG's end, though. Like, again, there's this flex on the Primal Beast that could be Xiaoyu playing it, could be Exilern. The last pick is gonna really cement that, and RSG has last pick overall. So they should be able to adjust their draft based on what they see T1 doing with this Morphling.
Banouts to come. T1, they'll have the first ban here for the final ban. Plenty of reserve time to think about it if they so wish. have a heavy think about it, it does seem like they are banning out either mid laners or off laners. It should be a mid laner though. Primal Beast more than likely in the off lane here for RSG. You never know though. Thompson, I believe, was the one who started the mid Primal Beast back in his pub. So you never know. There he is. There's the man. Why do I hear boss music all of a sudden? Giga Chad Thompson. There's a Lycan ban out as well. So T1 just not wanting to allow any cheese picks to come out either from RSG, and they are known to pick these kind of cheesy picks once in a while. So you do have to be a little bit careful.
10 seconds
Yeah, just preventing Xiaoyu from maybe getting a really good Lycan combo, like Lycan Ags with Slark, a hidden wolf running at you that can jump, a fish wolf, as one would say. Pretty terrifying. So just cut off that T1. Last pickup, either the Ana or Thompson here. I think we're kind of locked into the Cuckoo Undying, although there's room for a Cuckoo Clockwork. Core Clock can come out. I don't think it's as scaling as the Undying or as dominant early on as the Undying. I'm keen to see what ideas do they have in mind here. Huh.
Prac and DP. So it should be a mid DP, pos 1 Morphling, or pos 1 Undying, pos 3 DP, mid Morphling, which is something I think you actually prefer.
Yes, yeah, I like the way you think, Mikey. I think you're getting some very wrong ideas for Dota now out from you, and I like that. We haven't seen the pos 1 Undying in a while. You are getting some sick ideas, Mike. This is not good, but I like it.
It's
Thank
because
you.
T1's got Ana Thompson. You know they're going to run something weird.
Core Undying. I mean, I'd love to see that. Like the Shard Echo Saber build, and you just stack attack speed, and then you just machine gun some zombies up when you have your flash golem. It can be fun. Now, Core Undying up against a Slark is still kind of weird. As you said, you just get stats up, and then Slark just hits you with all your strength, and you get more agi, especially leveled spikes with the Essence Shift per stack. The agi per stack of Essence Shift goes up. It's going to feel really good for MKS. I think the safer bet is that Ana Morphling. Yeah, you kind of run it a bit more standard. Go with a mid DP for tops. And this is probably the most standard draft from T1 we've seen. If they do go for that way, not the flex of the pos 1 Undying. If they go for that pos 1 Undying, I'd say, hell yeah, let's go for it. Let's find out what happens, Mike.
Final pick. RSG, balls in their court. Let's see what they get done. Seconds left for this final pickup here. RSG really thinking about it.
Tusk. Choose your hero.
Oh, they'll bring out the Tusk. Fair enough. That's going to be a pretty interesting. So offlane Tusk or mid Tusk? What's going on here, John?
It's open. I have seen mid Tusk, not in pro game, but I know it works. I think it's still the Excel Learn Primal Beast. Xiaoyu Tusk sounds like more in line, and it is a Xiaoyu specialty. So you do have some good save coming out. They will run the Ana Undying. Let's go. Safe lane Undying.
There we go.
Back again. I am hyped up. I can't wait.
Yeah, so is Ana, as you can tell by his face. He looks very, very hyped right now, Ana. don't fall. Ana, wake up. Come on now. Don't fall. Look at he's got bags under his eyes. He's tired. The poor bloke's tired. Give him a rest. He needs a bit of rest, right? He's been playing too many games recently.
I'm sure he has, and I'm sure Doms has also wanted some rest. I believe the boys are in boot camping in Malaysia right now, so they've got a good environment to go out and relax in, and maybe Ana needs a little bit of a break. We do see again Xiaoyu picks up the Tusk. Excellent will take that mid Primal Beast, and Thompson is playing the mid morph. So I'm keen to see how much RSG can get done. Again, they've had at least one series to do some research on T1. RSG's been getting a lot of practice in. I know these guys have been working pretty damn hard. And we did see Coach Ohio in the background. He looked pretty happy. It didn't look too tense there for RSG. They do have a good draft. They've got good momentum coming out here. The lanes can be really aggressive, but so can T1's lanes. There's a lot of back and forth left here. I think the lane to watch out for from T1 is going to be Ana's lane, because Undying's early presence is just so strong. I think the off-lane Tusk for Xiaoyu, while it does have some play, Undying punishes that sort of play really well, because you clump up. You want to play with tag team and clump up. Undying's just going to get free strength.
Smiles on the faces of T1. At least there were big smiles on the faces of T1, as we are going to get into game number one. Jonathan, the floor is yours. 4 predictions to be made. A lot of viewers watching right now, sir. What are the guaranteed 100% predictions from John X5 this game?
Highest net worth by 25. I actually want to say... top Ana could actually farm pretty fast and Undying by 25. Team with the most runes picked up by 10. I would lean towards... T1 has really good supports to rotate. Which team will win? I want to say RSG, but honestly, I don't think they've figured out the core Undying. T1, longest kill streak. I want to say Topson. He's probably the hardest to kill off there. It is still a fairly decent Morphling game.
Okay. Fair enough. Should be an interesting one. There you go. There's your predictions, chap. Go ahead. RSG. KS just currently chilling out in the mid lane. The Observer Ward, just making sure nobody gets near his Observer Ward there is Topson. Watch him. A little bit of a wrap around here from T1, but MKS should be just fine to play out. Don't know if there's going to be a level 1 team fight this game. I mean, you've got RSG with the Tusk. That's the thing, right? Like, Zhao Yu might feel like, hey, I've got tag team. Let's go. Try and get something done here against the side of T1 early on. Because you can't underestimate the slow potential of this Techies with that sticky bomb either. I always kind of rave on about how strong Techies is at the moment. Zhao Bonbon seems to agree with me. So we do get into it. Zhao Bonbon going to move forward. Sticky bomb is there. Zephyr will have the battery assault. Zhao Yu going to be able to outpick him though. Fast hands on the Tusk. It's going to be, I believe, a 2-for-2 trade anyway, as Cuckoo is going to be able to secure the last banner rune for his team. And let's start with the mid lane. You are going to have the mid Exilern Primal Beast coming out. He'll be against the Morphling of Topson in this mid lane. Jonathan, we haven't seen Primal Beast versus Morphling mid yet. How does this matchup meant to go?
I feel like it's pretty farmy for the first 2 levels. Maybe once Exilern has, say, level 2, you could try to be aggressive right before Topson hits that level 2 attribute shift. Once you have that up, I mean, Topson is pretty safe. In fact, this Morphling matchup is pretty good. Just because you've got the waveform to level up, you're not going to be caught under trample, which really feels like the Problem Beast's one trump card in lane to really bully. Topson's always got a way out of danger. And that should mean he just has a consistent time farming. Exilern shouldn't be held off from farming either. It might just boil down to whoever gets better rune control down the line here.
Bottom lane as well. You're going to have the DP, MKS, and Roger going at it here. Anna, excuse me, did I say DP? I meant Slark. Roger, he's dropping quite low already. Anna, he's going to go for a chase. Roger, Wolf Fairy fire up. Kind of a hard lane here for Roger to actually get anything done in on that Elder Titan. You do have that pos 1 Undying hanging around here from T1, and it's not going to be that easy to try and harass and abuse with this Elder Titan. And of course, you're going to have the support there of Whitemon as well on the line, which, again, is going to make it rather difficult for Roger. Maybe not so much for MKS, as he does try and make the jump in. Anna will be there to zone them out. Nothing going to come out of this. Meanwhile, mid lane, Topson fighting back against Exilern. Really getting a lot of damage in, but Exilern playing on the edge, does have the bottle, is going to be just fine.
He's farming up fairly well, doing a good job of just slowing Topson down just by a tad. Topson still managing to find some really good CS though, so he's not being held back too much, but the bottle refill's coming out for Exilern, and his mobility with the onslaught does mean that he's going to have a better time for the next creep wave. Well, Topson should have some regen flying back in. Last lane that we haven't touched is up top. A little bit of a chase out from Zephyr onto Xiao Bonbon. The boots ensures that Xiao Bonbon isn't in any danger though. Does manage to back off, but you are having a pretty damn good lane for Cuckoo. Like, there's not much Xiao Yu can do to stop that Death Prop, and that's where the flex, that lane switching comes on hand. Like, the Undying can work against the Tusk lane, but the DP just dominates that lane. You do not want to snowball in, you do not want to try to run down with Tag Team, because Spirit Siphon in the early levels is really damn strong with the changes to it.
It certainly is. One right now on the techies as well. Like, I always talk about the level 2 timing and the level 3 power spike of the techies. See, level 2 with the blast off always very potent. Level 3 even more so. They still don't have the blast off though, so Zephyr's going to be just fine to back away. Cuckoo will zone them out on the Death Prophet. Meanwhile, mid lane Topson again going to be chased down by Exilern with the trample and uproar. Topson, strength morphing, is going to be able to survive through it. Exilern would love a solo pick off onto Topson and this morphling. Not going to have the opportunity quite yet.
Still managed to zone him out pretty well though. Trap Trample's not too long off, but an onslaught could try.
Thompson still kind of manning up through it. The Trample doing a hell of a lot of damage. No mana for the waveform, but he will strength morph and be just fine. He learned top of the CS board right now. On that Primal Beast, having a very good landing stage. Thompson, he's going to be careful. Xiao Bonbon looking to cut him off. Thompson, he's very low on HP at the moment, but he'll strength morph back. Xiao Bonbon does get spotted by the tower anyway. Wards are on the high ground to give that vision. I suppose Thompson was never really in danger to begin with.
Gonna be just fine. A nice walk over from Zephyr as well, just to ensure no shenanigans happen on that mid. We want that stable start for Thompson and Ana though.
Yeah, MK is stuck around on very low HP, not respecting the decay. Decay is at level 2, so it does still damage, and he does end up going down. Ana with his Soul Ring, he's got the mana every single time now. Meanwhile, mid lane, here we go again. They try onto Thompson. Onslaught connects. That's about all they get on Thompson, though. He's fine.
He's gonna be secure now. It does feel like as long as he's got mana with the attribute shift, should be fine. He's got a good amount on the stun as well. Just ensure if the trample's in, he can just hold Exilern back. And overall, a pretty stable start for T1 already. Less than 1k lead going their way. The only real good lane from RSG so far is Exilern's lane, which, to be fair, is the backbone of your team for the most part, but does feel like you're going to want that build up rather soon, or a little bit faster on MKS. Like this Slark wants some early activity, wants some early Essence Shift permanent stacks, and it's not really an easy game to get that done here.
Done a great job of catching up in CS as well. Still, Exilern is ahead by 3, but the Morphling in a very good time. His bot lane, MKS, being very cautious now. Ana, level 4 mark, does have Tombstone up at level 1. KS does not want to feed another kill away here to the Undying if he can avoid it. Again, Roger really hasn't been able to do anything. This is the real positive about the lane switch that happened with T1, is Roger on the Elder Titan just hasn't had a game yet. Just has nothing to do apart from pull the lane. He's trying his absolute best to do so. They've kind of accepted the fact that MKS, he just needs to farm, and Roger, he just needs to give XP to the Slark. Just let him have it.
As much as possible as he can possibly kind of get there. Some movements towards mid once more.
Trample still going through the Hex. Exilern with the Onslaught going to keep going. Whitemon, he'll Fairy Fire up, will survive. In comes Zephyr, but he cannot break the gap. He's only level 2 on that Clockwork. Nowhere near the level 6 mark yet. It's only 6 minutes into the game. But they do protect Whitemon. The Lion is going to be able to salve up and walk away. RSG, so far, all their attempts have been foiled by T1. They are not allowing any kills to go the way of RSG.
I mean, really responsive towards the movements out from RSG, and opening up the side lanes makes things worse for RSG's end. I mean, MKS is still having a rough time farming. Xiao Yu isn't getting the build-up he'd want on this Tusk. His early levels aren't quite ramping up as well. And T1 just gets to take control in every way they'd want to. I mean, Ana's going for that Echo Saber build-up we talked about. So probably just a Shard Echo Saber build. Just run heroes down with a Flesh Golem when that's up and running. And you just don't have anything yet. I mean, they're keeping Xiao Bonbon actually just camped on mid, because there's no play with Xiao Yu. And speaking of Xiao Yu,
Trouble top lane. Shard's not going to block them out. Cuckoo, he'll chase them down, secure the kill. Onslaught is there. Exilern, he doesn't connect, but with the trample, he gets a bit of damage. Problem is Cuckoo will keep chasing. There's your Pulverize, but the damage upward not too high. Blast off, but Fairy Fire. Cuckoo trying to run with the Salve. He'll make it. Cuckoo barely making it out. T1, they are refusing to give any openings over to RSG.
yeah, I think they've gotten a good read that RSG really need this aggression coming through. They even smoke up just to ensure that they can walk away. They've got the stacks ready. Exilern is not healthy enough for that.
Careful, sir. Pulverize him. Yep, that'll do it. Little bit. We'll have to leave the rest be. Oh no, Zephyr's gonna see them now as well. There you go. Pings them out. Zephyr knows the large ones are still there. Exilern, you cannot come back for this, sir. Level 3 is up for Zephyr, so he's got the level 2 battery assault. We'll have to back. We'll see if they can steal those stacks away. It looks like Thompson is making his way over. He wants them. Here we go. Enjoy the farm that the Radiant was meant have Thompson blast off. They try. That's a lot of damage from Zhao Bonbon, but not quite enough to get any kills. Still, they try for Zephyr. They'll find the clockwork, but what does it cost them? Zhao Yu, he's going to try to back for Thompson. He's on the chase. There's the waveform. Roger shows up. Now the onslaught. XE Learn trying to help out his task. We'll buy him some space. So Thompson forced to back away. Still 1-3. RSG, they do pick up their first kill of the game. That'll be something. Meanwhile, MKS, he's dueling Ana.
That's pretty brave. Does have level 6 up, so it's harder for him to die, and Ana's kind of out of mana.
Oh, it was a little bit of a bait. The sticky bomb does not end up connecting, though. Ana, he will be able to walk away just fine. KS feeling a lot more confident to keep trying to find his mid lane now. Roger gets an echo stomp. Allowing T1 to try and get aggressive. 1k advantage for the side of T1. RSG doing a good job of keeping up. Problem is, John, you look at the top 3 net worths on the board right now, they are all cores of T1.
And they've found everything they wanted to. I mean, Ana had a phenomenal lane. Thompson was being equaled by Excellent, but they invest so much onto the mid that there's not much room for Excellent to really farm and even get aggressive on. Like, he tries to charge in. Zephyr, just with a battery assault, can just shove that away. And RSG are now forced to play a slower game. Up against a Morphling, up against this core and dying with a mid-game spike. That's not what you want to achieve here. And Xiao Yu's just been static up top, which Cuckoo doesn't mind at all.
Ana?
It just...
Yes, he's hitting hard. A lot of essence shift taken. He'll pop the Shadow Dance. Ana still going to have some TP rotations to come in. Cuckoo immediately TP's in. He will not allow that pulse one Undying to die. Ana is barely going to be able to survive. Shadow Dance movement speed not proving to be enough with the rotation of Cuckoo.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to give that gauntlet win out to MKS. That's the most important part. Roger being chased around here.
White one. Be able to keep up with Roger, though Roger does walk back to the high ground. Pings are out. They seem to know he's around there somewhere, and now the battery assault is going to connect. Roger, I suppose he had nowhere else to go. That was not his base he was running towards. So he will get caught, and Ana will take his second kill of the game on the Oppos one Undying.
That's what you want to see here for Ana. Is just, you know, he's still getting that build up. He isn't going for the shard, not queuing that up, but Echo Saber BKB blink, so just wants to be aggressive and up front. Kind of cut off RSG from getting any safe clump up with how much the Undying gets in the middle of those engagements. RSG, I mean, this slower play style, it just doesn't feel like what this lineup wants to do. Like, we haven't seen the productivity of Xiao Bonbon from his techies. He's been showing up mid, but it hasn't been leading to any pickoffs. Neither has Roger had any impact as well on this Elder Titan. So you've cut off what the supports want to do here from RSG on T1 set. And it feels like a lot of RSG actually hinges, especially on Xiao Bonbon, to find that early momentum, because once he's ready to go, Xiao Yu tends to be ready to go. We're not seeing that just yet.
Roger, yeah, he's going to drop. Thompson now takes his first kill of the game on the Morphling. Nice little setup there from White One on the Lion. Pause, just picking up kill after kill. RSG slow down a little bit, buy themselves more time for MKS to keep that farm going on the Slark. And speaking of the devil, there is a smoke rotation. In fact, never mind. They're going to find Exilern on that Primal Beast. Xiao Bonbon will make the jump in. Exilern dropping low, but the mine damage is quite high. They got Zephyr, but Exilern's gone. That's a great pickoff once again. T1 finding a fantastic trade in Cuckoo immediately. He'll go for the Exo into the mid-tier 1 tower. This is going to be really problematic now for RSG if this goes down. It opens up the map too much for T1. You need more space for MKS. You can't allow the jungle to be taken right now by T1. They'll try to slow it down with the Elder Titan stop, but Thompson's not backing off. Neither is Cuckoo. Eventually they may, and they will. But that's a lot of damage being dealt.
It's a good amount of chip out onto that mid-tier 1. Forces Xiao Yu to show up. They're not ready to play with his Tusk. Feels like Xiao Yu is still gunning for that blink first, into the BKB, into the Ags. With a kickback, you're gonna have a lot more to play with. But as is, I mean, T1 are just working the map so well. They still haven't revealed the finger from White Mon, so they've got that burst damage ready to go. Zephyr has his hook shot ready as well, and they're just ready to rock and roll. There's really not much holding them back. And for RSG, they're just kind of farming right now, getting some space out. For Exilern, his BKB is being formed up, already has the Ogre Axe up and running. But it just feels like this momentum-based lineup now just needs to stay a little bit passive to get build up, and it just doesn't favor them too much.
Anna, bump up top lane. Snowball is there. Xiao Yu has no spells to follow up though. Hook shot. Oh, Zephyr, that's a perfect angle. Finds the hook right onto Xiao Yu. That's cost him his own life. They could have just backed. Maybe a bit of a panic snowball there. He had nothing to follow up with.
I don't think they could have gone for the all-in as well. It looked like Xiao Yu was just trying to poke and prod, but forces out a really big response, and now they're rotating back to mid. They want that tier 1. They've got a big kill, and if they want to, they could probably find it. Exo is still half a minute away, but the damage done to the tower, it doesn't feel like you'll even need that exorcism, and they're just forcing RSG to plump up. They're not giving that much room out for RSG to recover.
Not allowing anything. MKS just trying to farm the Dire jungle. We'll be able to pounce away from Cuckoo. Does have the Diffusal Blade up as well as that Darken Blade. May start working on towards the Aghanim Scepter now that we do see on Pos 1 Slux quite a bit in this current patch. Could be the way to go, because it does feel like MKS is going to be forced to try and join these team fights very early on. Speaking of pickups, there's your Echo Saber now for Anna. So he is going for the classic Echo Saber into the Shards build-up, which we used to see with the Pos 1 Undyings. Still very, very potent. Very hard to deal with all the zombies spawning up her right, because Zephyr, hook shot onto the Primal Beast. Whitemon's there to follow up, and Exi learn he cannot survive the damage. That'll be the tier 1 mid gone. No way to defend it. Top lane, Thompson, he's playing with Xiao Yu. Rotations are incoming. Snowball out from Thompson, right back into the tusk. Xiao Yu, silenced up, is not going to survive either. T1 so far are making this game 1 look very easy.
They've got control from every lane. They win out the laning phase in a big way. They're getting better rotations out. And RSG are just playing super passive with a lineup that feels like it wants to be all over them. But they just didn't get that start they want. They need to buy time for that build-up. MKS is still running up. He is working towards the Ags you mentioned there, Mike. Just start to save up for it. Might find Cuckoo, but doesn't even land the pounce.
Bit short. Does have the Diffusal Blade, but MKS has gotten so much damage. Cuckoo with the Spirit Vessel and the Spirit Siphons really melting the slug very, very quickly. They had a stun or a hex from Whitemon. That probably would have been a kill. KS, he is fine to back off for now. Definitely needs the Aghanim Scepter, I think, before he gets too involved here. Like, he's not mobile enough quite yet, I don't think, on the Slark to really help out his team yet. I think he just has to accept the time and space being given to him by RSG. And speaking of, they are going to go for a 4-man smoke into the mid lane. They're trying to focus down the Pos 1 Undying. Anna falling low, falling very low. They've got him down. Zephyr now in trouble as well. RSG, they'll be happy with this. They just want to back out. It's Cuckoo. We'll try to punish. There's a snowball to turn back around. Xiao Yu, he'll give his life away, but no, the blink away. They can't hold him down. Xiao Yu able to save his own life. And they got the big one. They got that Pos 1 Undying. Anna's down.
So that's good news for RSG. Finally finding kill that matters a little bit more here on their end. Getting some much needed gold out onto Exalern. BKB still a little bit more gold away. Once you've got that up and running, Primal Beast is going to be much more willing to be in that front line for the team. And for T1, oh, they're still feeling strong. They're still clumped up. Fingers on cooldown for a bit longer. Hookshot is ready. And they know that they're kind of trying to group around bot. TP out already from Xiaoban Bon. Roger's still around here though. They want that.
They're going to know as well. The courier was sniped. Rocket flare. Go right over the head of Roger. Not the biggest kill in the world here on the Elder Titan. It's just a Pos 5. But Thompson, he loves position 5s. He'll move over. Barely misses out, now sees him, bit of sidestepping here from Roger, actually jukes towards the north, hook shots off the mark here from Zephyr, Rocket Flare is back off cooldown, but it's also going to miss Roger. He's broken the ankles of T1, and he TP'd right out, back towards his team, into the mid lane he goes.
Managed to waste a lot of time, and
Whitemon, starting to up the blast off shards, is there. Whitemon, pulverized by Exilern. Now the shards out, onto Cuckoo. They want the Death Prophet. Tombstone drop though, Anna. He's going to move in. The shards blocking them in almost. MKS, oh, he's going to drop. Thompson has his own shards as well. MKS, he'll get tipped by Cuckoo. And they protect the mid-tier 1 tower.
Hold on, that is a really deep commitment out from RSG. Especially dragging MKS like that. Like, maybe they just feel a little bit strong and protected with the Shadow Dance and the Depth Shroud. Not quite enough. As T1 dipped into the Roshan now themselves. With the EXO committed out from Cuckoo, it's not going to take long. Roshan just absolutely melting. And no options left for RSG to jump in there. Still no key items flying out. Does look like the Ags is finished up on Exilern. So you have a safer time in running in, getting the Pulverize off. But it's a 5k lead for T1. They're hitting these early spikes. The Core Undying already having that BKB up so hard to deal with. And in theory, like you said from the draft there, Mike, there is a positive feedback loop where you can just kind of sap away at the Undying who's stealing the stats of your own allies, but that takes time. That takes farm for you to hit that fast, and it's not yet there for MKS.
Scan out as well from T1. They've actually caught RSG on that high ground with that scan. Maybe assuming a smoke might be on the way, but T1 don't seem to react whatsoever to it. They just hang around that triangle. Lane, Whitemon. The MKS underneath that observer ward. Look to back his way out. He's all alone right now. RSG are going to find the ward anyway. To play around too much. Instead, rotations back up towards the top lane where Jia Bonbon should be all right, but Zephyr's going to be on a bit of a chase here on the clockwork. Rocket Flare and Hookshot are up. Rocket Flare does go over Jia Bonbon. They do see the techies with the hookshot. Oh, it was actually just too short. It was right on target by Zephyr, but it's like a centimeter off. Bit unfortunate.
Some space Xiao Bonbon's creating, allowing the rest of RSG to still try to get this build up. They even find the mid-tier 1. They're trouble. They're still kind of searching for the techies here.
Bon is going to be okay. He'll TP up. Bottom lane, Whitemon. I think the tier 2 tower. RSG, they are around. They could try to pincer him in and secure the Lion Kill if they wish. Problem is, you are going to be trying to dive the tier 2 tower, and the TP rotations could come out quite fast here from T1 if you're not careful. They will scout him out. Jump in. Xiao Yu is there with the Walrus Punch. He blows him up. Nice pick up from Xiao Yu. MKS now feels free to move into the tier 2 tower. However, top lane, Jia Bonbon has been caught. Goes for the blast off towards the north. Does he have a TP? Not quite. He just used it. Meanwhile, MKS, he'll go on to Zephyr. On the slug, he'll try with the Shadow Dance. Primal Beast will move in. Or at least find Zephyr. He's still trying to chase down Jia Bonbon. He'll go for the onslaught, but there's your Pulverize. Where's Thompson gone? There he is. He's back in. MKS gets blown up. Oh, MKS, he just disappears. Another tip out from Thompson. Can I see a replay of that? How much HP did just get deleted from MKS? Jump. Oh, no. Thompson. Oh, here we go. Thompson's doing Thompson things again, John. Here we go, Roger. Hex out, they find another. Righto, bring on the replay. Let's have a look.
It's a bit rough right now for RSG. You can see in that fight. They surround Thompson. They get BKB and the Pulverize off. It looks like they might find more. A bit of a fight breaking out onto Exilern right now as well. MKS, yeah, look at that. Shotgun down. He had the Depth Shroud. He didn't manage to use it.
Oh, Anna, he's onto Exilern. They try to go for Zephyr. He had the battery assault going. He didn't need it. Anna's here. High five up as well. They're feeling it now. T1. Keep in mind, they've got the shards up on the Undying as well, so you really can't underestimate the damage output of the Undying anymore. Level 15 talent as well with the plus 22 zombie damage. It's rough.
It's pretty tough right now for RSG. I think the key timing they have to kind of build up into now is Xiao Yu's BKB into Ags. Just that kickback can be big in turning these fights. The Ags for MKS is something we've been waiting for as well. He needs to be able to latch onto these heroes from very far away, but the BKBs do kind of ruin that. They are building into that spell. Anna's had his for a while. Cuckoo has his up and running. Thompson, he's almost done with the Ags, Mike. We're going to have more Fling Ags on hand with the bonus steals. So even more stats stolen, spell amp, agi, or strength, depending on the hero. Topson's gonna have a lot of play once that's up and running here.
Who do you think he steals from? Like the Slark, maybe? The Slark, the Primal Beast, perhaps? More than likely? What are you thinking?
I feel like you actually do want Primal Beast and probably Tusk, just for the hold. Like, Tusk is very disruptive. Snowball for Topson, kind of dance around. Then it's pretty big. The mob is also really nice, so I'd say Tusk might be a higher priority. The Slark is pretty damn good as well, though. Like, there's nothing for MKS to defend against his own leash if it's turned against him. So there's a lot of back and forth play there. Still, RSG, I mean, that Ags time we talked about looks like it's only a part away now for MKS, and you've got the Blink up and running in XLR. So you've got some play on hand. They just need to find the right heroes. At this point, it feels like you have to take care of the supports first, but you also don't want a prolonged fight up against Ana. The Undying just grows way too big, so they're gonna have to choose their targets carefully here on RSG with a smoke.
Yeah. When we go. Bottom T2 tower, they'll get started. Topson, he's hitting very hard. You don't even need the Exo for this. You may as well save it. Jarbonbon does not get spotted yet, but they are having a look around. Rocket Flare is up, but Zephyr, he does eventually commit a Jarbonbon. He'll make the jump in. Top the target. Shrek Morphor's there on the Morphling. He's still fine. He'll waveform out. Meanwhile, Ana, he'll move forward. He won't catch anyone. The T2 tower is still under siege. In RSG, they find absolutely nothing. Nice attempt, but just not enough follow-up.
They try to go all in, but they're just not able to get enough. Like, this Blink BKB timing's still great from XLR, but you're just not ready on everyone else. Your chain control isn't quite there.
So again, mid lane, MKS gonna try his absolute best. Walrus punches there. Maybe they can get him this time to blast off the pounce away. He's not gonna land the blast off in time. Now the onslaught, but Topson, he'll just go right back in. Look at this Giga Chat. Absolute Giga Chat is Topson. As they will find another kill. 2 left on the side of RSG. They will try to run. Cuckoo will voice line them the whole time. Oh boy, AK advantage for T1 and RSG. I mean, they're trying. They find 2 supports for their trouble, but it's just not worth the trade.
Definitely not. Big wins for T1. All their core stay alive. They managed to get this really good push down mid. Xiao Yu does have the Ags, so maybe a bit of a reveal here if he wants, but doesn't have the follow-up if he even kicked Topson back. Still, this is the moment where RSG can have even more play. And that's the timing that we tend to wait for. Xiao Yu can set the plays for his team now with the snowball into the kick. It's all about finding the right targets. Maybe you just play that pick-off game now with the Tusk. You can get that done relatively fast with his hero with the Ags up.
Bottom lane, Ana, he is by himself. This could be an opening for RSG. Shards are on target. Diffusal Blade is there. Ana, he'll pop his BKB. Drop the Tombstone. He's very low on mana now. He'll pop the Flesh Golem though. Trying to fight back. With the Tombstone going, the zombies. He'll follow. Ana, still dropping low. Needs to keep fighting. Snowball is there. Hookshot's not in time. They've got the Pos1 Undying down. RSG finding a great pickoff now. As Whitemon does move in with the finger. MKS is going to drop a great trade. This T1 will just keep going. Roger. He will drop to Cuckoo. Onto more they go. Xiao Yu. The zombies are still following him down. Ana laughing from the grave as Topson. He'll take the double. Godlike spree for Topson. 9-0-5.
Wow.
They're getting way too much. It takes so much commitment just to find the Undying. 9-22 now. As RSG, I mean, they get these key items. They try to clump up, but they don't clump up as 5. They still try to work the map. They still try to get that build up. But it does feel like they need that full commitment because T1's just ready to turn. And that was a sickening max range Earth Spike out from Whitemon into the finger. Just barely clipping onto MKS on the edge. Just managing to clean up that kill. And for RSG, I mean, this game is just difficult. You've got the BKBs up and running now on Topson as well. I mean, I still have to see what he decides to morph into. I'd really love to see the bonus stats in place. It just sounds funny and it kind of busted, but also kind of not. So I want to see him, say, turn into Problem Beast, how much tankier he is there. Turn into Slark, how much more attack speed you really have. Could be very interesting to see. With a 9k lead up, T1 in no hurry at all. They've got scaling locked in with Thompson. Although down the line, I mean, Undying does kind of taper off, and you can see Honest itemization going into the Wraith Pact. So they know that the scaling core is going to be Thompson. They just need to go to utility now for everyone else. For RSG, they're still clumping around here. They still have this kickback ready on Xiao Yu.
Get done with it, MKS. I mean, he's showing signs of brilliance here with RSG. I mean, they are certainly not out of this game yet. Smoke rotation, T1, they're on the high ground. This is not good news at all. RSG need to retreat. This is not the fight. They're going to try. They have lost Xiao Yu on the tusk, it seems, and Xiao Yu eventually going to drop. Not the worst situation, but now with their pulse 3 tusk down, T1, they are going to rush for the Roshan pit. It is still 15 seconds away, though. A counter smoke now from RSG. 4v5 scenario, they want to go for the surprise. They think Roshan's happening. They'll find out now it's not. A great blast off. It lands on 2. Anna's caught. Wymon, Anna, they're both gone. No buyback for Anna. Wymon does commit his buyback immediately, but RSG, they salvage a pretty bad situation and turn it into a pretty good situation.
It's a nice kill to pick up. Not the biggest in the world, but they do force the buyback from White One, and that will force a little bit more caution out from T1. Wait for the respawn on Anna, which will allow the side of RSG to play with Xiao Yu. And again, try to go for those kickback plays. He's been gunning for a lot of different heroes. Last fight, he did kickback Cuckoo, but the BKB does ensure that the DP is not going to tie off anytime soon.
He's chasing down Xiao Bonbon. He's got the pounces going, though he needs a few seconds for that cooldown. Xiao Bonbon surges out. They are going to try and move back in. MKS, he cannot man fight whatsoever against this Morphling. Nice try.
That 70 bonus attack speed plus the stolen morph Agi is pretty busted. You can't quite just right click down a Morphling when he takes your form there on a Slark. You won't have the damage or attack speed to kind of match him. So the value on the Ags is already showing itself there, Mikey. Shiva's Guard fully up for Cuckoo now as well. As T1 still maintained the lead in this game, 11-23. RSG. They're gonna have this BKB hook shot.
Zephyr, right in. All Starfall's there. Exilern gonna go for the Pulverize with the Komo no Mi once again. Looks like Zephyr is gonna be just fine. Is Exilern, he'll get out of there. Meanwhile, Thompson, he'll get to work. He's got that Slark morph again. There goes Roger. Jump on Bond. Blast off for Thompson right behind him. What blast off? He comes right back to the Morphling. Here we go again. Roshan is still available. Anna will get started.
It's not going to take long for this one to fall down. Roche number 2, Aegis and Shard ready to go here. And for RSG, I mean, they have these unique draft ideas. They've been trying out this mid Problem Beast. They go back to the Raji Elder Titan, which I believe is one of his favorite heroes, one of his specialties from his time in SMG and before. But it's not enough. Like, they play such a passive game. T1 wins out all lanes. They've been winning out all the engagements here as well. Their decision-making, their initiation from T1's just been very clean. I mean, you're at the point where even just Zephyr coming in solo is already a threat. Like, you might kill the Clockwork, but the follow-up's always going to be there for T1.
T2 top tower gone. I like the transition from Anna as well, John Lee. He picks up a Wraith Pact on the Undying, so he's just acting as a +3 now. Like, he just appreciates that, yeah, Thompson's my real carry this game. I don't feel like carrying. Let Thompson do the work. The Wraith Pact, make the team fights even harder now for RSG, and they've been charging it a lot. These pouncies, these onslaughts, these snowballs and blinks in, but going into the Wraith Pact, you're going to be lacking so much damage here now against T1. Gee, 11k behind, they are already lacking quite a bit of damage to begin with. So with the Wraith Pact, it's going to feel quite impossible to fight. What can they do? Like, RSG, well, what do you think they need to build into? Or do they need to buy space, John? Well, what's it all about here to try and make a comeback throughout this game one?
They need pickoffs. Just kill off the supports, start to get some permanent Agi built up more onto MKS, you know, drag it out until he gets his level 20 talent. once he does have that 20 talent in these prolonged fights, the Slark can feel a lot better with the additional agi he can seal out, or even just the attack speed, but probably just the agi. It's difficult to do that. Like, just look at T1's positioning. They are not breaking up as a unit 5. They get a good scan here as well.
They know someone's in the tree line. They're going to find him as well. Hookshot is there. MKS is just destroyed. Whitemon will give him the finger. 4 stacks for him now on that line. The game sense from T1. They just know. They know someone's there. They just can't catch a break here, John. Losing that pos 1 Slark again. They're just getting further and further behind. Feels like they have no way of dealing with the Aegis of Thompson. And if you're T1, you're looking for high ground very soon with this Aegis. I mean, these team fights have been so one-sided anyway. Thompson's currently 8k ahead of the Slark in terms of net worth. There's a kickback onto Ana. He's not really the problem though, and he's too tanky anyway. He's not dying. He's moving right in fact. He does not care.
Oh boy.
He's just gonna Giga Chat it up. Hookshot or not, he will take down Roger. How dare you kick the humble god?
Yeah, they can't deal with him. It has to be the sports they kind of pick off first, but there's just no good angles for Xiaoyu to take. The front line's so well protected. They clear out the tier 3. Rack's not going to take long. They could go for Megas. I wouldn't blame them for going for tier 4s at this point, just because there's really nothing to stop them. But they'll play it safe on T1's end. Go for the mid set first.
He's there with the X. They did not get the kickback onto Thompson. So Xiaoyu in trouble. Xilern at least does find a trade onto the line as Xiaoyu has survived. So 1 for nothing. Blast off is up, but the strength more is there from Thompson. MKS now being caught out. He's the one being hunted by Thompson. Hookshot, Zephyr, where's he gone? Trying to go onto the tusk, but finds the creep wave instead. So Zephyr is going to be sacrificed here by T1. RSG, they'll lose 1 lane of barracks. They do protect the mid though. They find a couple support pickoffs, and that'll allow them to remain in this game 1.
And that's what they need to keep doing. Again, look for these squishy supports. Make the fight a little bit uncomfy for the side of T1. And just try to find a numbers advantage and work your way from there. 12k lead still remains for T1 though, Mike. Pretty massive lead at this point in the game. 35 minutes, it's not the biggest in the world, but a lot of that world is on Thompson. He is so far ahead of everyone else. It's kind of maddening. They're trying to push.
Try. Echo stops there. Oh boy, yeah. Excellent. Does end up going down. Way out of position for RSG. Obviously, it's desperate times right now, John. You can't quite blame them, but it feels like it's just, you gotta buy more space, I suppose, for MKS. Then again, John, he's 0-6 right now on the Slark. He has not had a good game whatsoever.
No, and I don't think it's really space you're looking for, just pickoffs. You really need to find a backline somehow. Just punish the supports of T1. And again, it provides you openings to deal with these cores, because these cores by themselves don't have the most team fight in the world. You can use that against him, although it depends on what Thompson's form takes, as his morphs have been really impactful.
He has Lincoln's this time. Lincoln's will be broken. The Walrus kick though never there, so they'll jump in with the blast off Thompson. He does go down. That'll be the first death of the game for Thompson. RSG, they have found an opening for this team fight. MKS, they'll rush now. Cuckoo, he'll get defused up, slowed down. He will force staff away. In goes Xiaoyu, but the kick is onto Whitemon and it goes the wrong way. Snowball out now, back to the high ground for Xiaoyu. In T1, they are not fighting without their Morphling. They'll back. RSG, however, they've got to go. There's no buyback on Thompson. This is the opening they've been waiting for.
And that's what they need. And for some reason, T1 in that fight onto the high ground, Zephyr and Whitemon were so far away. Like, they could not come in to help. They weren't there to disrupt the fight. With the hook shots, with the Hex, with the Earth Spikes coming out, it allowed RSG to just dogpile onto Thompson and still have the damage for him. Still,
T1, they're still hanging around. Ana, he'll get kicked back. He does have BKB and the Tombstone. It'll be dropped. Decays are going now. Who have they got? They'll try to Zhao Bonbon. The Techies has been caught, will go down. In goes MKS onto Zephyr. A stomp is there. It will not help the cause. Ana, he's still going. Still stealing strength away, but Zephyr is going to go down as now Whitemon. He'll be targeted by Xilern with the Pulverize. Zephyr, he'll be forced to buy back on the clockwork as Xilern, he's looking for a way out now. He does not want to be here any longer, but he has no choice in the matter. Zephyr, tough to find a little bit more, but does not have hookshot off cooldown. So not a bad fight whatsoever. You forced the clockwork buyback, but it costs you 2 lives. That was your mid-primal beast going down as well. Not the greatest fight at all for RSG.
Not the greatest, but a fight they needed. Every time they find a kill, that's still an important win or an important gain for them. You can see in that fight. Look at the minimap. Look at how far Whitemon and Zephyr are. That's what they need to do. Kill the supports, or at least drag them away from these fights, and you can find those openings.
So a replay as well of Thompson getting delayed in that last team fight as well. Just gonna be so careful of this untying. Just too many decays being given back the way of that man as now a team fight breaks out. MKS has been caught. Still, they'll go for a Walrus Punch. Zephyr, he does force stuff away. Snowball is backing him up, but no, the Glimmer Cape. It'll buy a bit of time. Xiao Yu still trying to look around, cannot find the clockwork. He will BKB TP out. He does not want to stick around. The only person left without a kill on the board here, or rather a death on the board for T1 is Cuckoo. He's 9-0-11 right now, so the offlane DP's having a great time.
He's just had a fantastic time. He's controlling that top lane really well. His item buildup just allows him to be super active. He's got the refresh up, double BKB usage on hand. Very hard to kind of focus in on, and his healing is just insane. There's nothing to stop such rapid healing in this game as well. Now Ana, full assault cures up, even more attack speed to kind of have with the Flash Golem zombies coming out there. It's a full-on Halloween party when Ana's on someone. MKS.
Right one. He'll blink away. MKS gonna be okay. He'll avoid the Earth Spike. XE learn. Pop the Pulverize. Force the BKB from Ana, but there's a hook shot. Zephyr on target again. XE learn. He'll onslaught away. With the BKB, he'll survive for now, and the stomp will hold them back though. Whitemon still trying to move in, but Xiao Yu, he'll get caught by the Hex, the finger. It's there as well. Xiao Yu's gone. Trying to catch the lion, but does not get so lucky. Jump on Bon. Last stop away. XE learn. He'll onslaught away as well. Zephyr still on the chase, but hookshot's on cooldown for another 20 seconds. They are just going to chase with the rocket flare. Keep getting that vision up. Cogs, is it going to be out? Yes, it will. Zephyr connects the Dustin. Meanwhile, mid lane, MKS will get the BKB TP away in time on the Slark. Jump on Bon, however, he will not be so lucky. He'll try to run with the Glimmer Cape into the tree line. He might actually make it out, and he does. T1, they're only interested in objectives right now anyway. Thompson into the mid-tier 3 tower. He doesn't care about the support techies, and the techies has no TP anyway. Yes, to get those essence shifts going. Thompson shows no signs of caring. It'll be the mid-rack's gone. T1, another objective taken.
Yep. Being up, 1 lane of Rack's advantage now here for T1. Have to say one thing as well here, Mike. Thompson, with the Ags, if he turns into an enemy Tusk, apparently he also gets Walrus Kick, if I saw that right. So, you know, a free kick back for Thompson in case they need to simplify these fights further on from the side of T1. For RSG, their options are getting limited. Now it really feels like you're just depending on Xiao Yu to put someone heavily out of position. You still have to take care of these supports. T1, smoke play here.
And he'll try to scout out the Roshan pit with the Shiver's Guard. There yet, because the Roshan is still about 15 seconds away from respawning. With the 4-man smoke waiting across the river on their own side of things, on the Dire side. RSG patiently waiting for someone to be out of position for the kickback. With a haste rune, MKS, he takes it, in they go, a 3-man Cogs, with the tombstone right outside of it. This is not a good fight whatsoever. They'll keep it going though. Banana's got the BKB, the blast off does nothing. Jump on Bon is gonna drop, so will the Primal Beast. Onto Roger they go. Thompson, he'll move right in. That'll be another kill, and 3 buybacks committed from RSG. Zephyr setting up the perfect team fight with a 3-man Cogs, and now another smoke. RSG, do they know? They might think the Roshan's happening right now. Zephyr will reveal it. Roger, fine for now. Xiao Yu, not so much. Thompson blows him up. There goes the Pulverize. It's cancelled by Whitemon. MKS tries to jump the Lion. A big blast off by Xiao Bonbon onto 3, but there's no damage. There is just 0 damage coming out from RSG, as they are going to lose 3 more heroes. And in fact, MKS, he's not out of the woods yet either. Thompson's on the chase. He's got the Tusk form. He'll chase him down. Pounce was on cooldown. There's your Pounce out now, though. Back into the Roshan pit, I think, for T1.
Not going to take too long. And they've still got EXO. They refresh the EXO just to clear out this Rosh.
Roger.
And they should be able to find him.
He's trying to delay the Roshan happening. He's been caught out, however. Anna's not having any of it. Whitemon will give him the finger once again. Roshan, it will indeed go the way of T1. Who gets the Ag's blessing? It seems like it's going to be Cuckoo.
I mean, why not at this point? Free Ags to speed up the push, speed up this fight with all the little ghosts you spawn. This kind of makes this game a lot faster for the side of T1. RSG, I mean, with those diebacks, I don't know if you have any options. You're at least going to be playing against Mega Creeps. I still don't see a great defense coming out. If Xiao Yu kicks into the fountain, like twice over, that could stall the game out, but you're dealing with Mega Creeps. This lineup doesn't wave clear all too well.
31k Mantis just rolled up, try to kick back towards the fountain onto Anna, but he's not the problem. The problem's Thompson. He gets the shards off. Xiao Yu is gone. MKS, he'll try for the man fight. Anna's just tanking through it. He doesn't care. He's just standing there taunting him. Right in front of the fountain. Just tanks all the damage. Tier 4 towers, they're going to be under siege. MKS, he's going to try. He's going to try. Kick back from Thompson. Thompson. He's styling on them now, John. He is styling on the side of RSG. It's MKS, he's brought back. In they go. Anna, he will at least drop. They've got the Aegis. Meanwhile, Xiao Bonbon trying to slow down the Ancient going down, but the hook shot's there. Thompson just hitting away onto the Ancient. In fact, never mind that. He wants the kills. Counts towards the south, though. Have they gone too far? RSG, they might punish. Thompson, he'll pop the BKB. He still has the Aegis. Can they at least find that? Thompson, look at this Giga Chat. He'll man fight. There goes the Aegis, though. XE learn with the Pulverize. He'll get one down. He'll even find the Aegis of Thompson, but the Ancient's still exposed. He'll get the job done now. No more playing around. Be it. Game 1 to go the way of T1. A fun matchup between these two, but T1, they were just way too dominant here. Way too dominant.
Players know what to do in an instant of a second inside a game. That goes for commentary as well. If a commentator knows this is the moment.
Here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dive! In from the universe! It's a disaster!
I do think that TI is very special for everyone. History of Dota is like written at TI.
Navi is about to be caught. Oh, this could be a total disaster! Vacuum in! Ravage on everyone! The black hole as well! Light of Heaven turns it around!
Players and casters are making the history together, of course, but if you don't put voice on what you are doing, it's worthless.
To me, what makes a great call at TI is like, I'd say, raw emotion.
Boxing in a higher! Epi! Power strike onto 2!
The zone away,
but took them out!
The point is to tell the story of the fight. You have to be able to build up to it. That itself, it's a skill that I feel only a very few people have.
But now the call! There! He stops it right in the tracks! They're gonna be able to take down 2! And a third falls from Evo! Evil geniuses! They see.
I think a good crowd is everything. At times, deafening to the point where you can't really hear the game sound. But it's always like an interesting challenge finding the balance between egging them on and feeding into that passion, but not letting it like completely wash you away.
I always want to ride the wave that is the crowd. If they're that loud, then I'm matching them. Like, I will try and keep up.
Bulba wants to open up. Tucky's dragging him back. Nixon holds Bulba away. Joe, low life. He can't Shakuchi. Nice. He can't Shakuchi. Liquid get first blood.
That's what the thing is about classic good casting. Like, every single time, I still get goosebumps.
Everything hangs in the balance. It all comes down to this.
The last game of the International 3 finals between Alliance and Na'Vi. 5th game, everything on the line.
One more game, $2 million on the table. Winner, first place at the International, the aegis and the prestige of being the best Dota 2 team in the world.
The big one, the $1 million dream coil. Everybody remembers that play. I can remember every single word Luminous is screaming.
Alliance are doing it! They need a little more! Supposed to fall! Down! It's jeopardy! There's a glimpse! It could be their last!
All this hype is building. The TPs are canceled. The $1 million dream coil has already happened. They're pushing in.
KP! They want this round! They're gonna do it!
And it's just like, Alliance is doing it! The Kings of the North!
Alliance wins! They win TI3!
The Alliance just won $1.4 million!
Every time I think about it, I get the shivers. It's just so good.
If you have the same game commentated by different people, it will be a very different story for each commentator because each commentator will highlight something different. The way that Toby does Black Hole, the moment that Enigma is picked, he's like, okay, let's do this, I'm ready. You can see his whole face, it lights up.
Even though it's become a meme and died as a meme, he still gets giddy.
This is gonna be it, he's ready for it.
They're losing the Rama. Black Hole! Big one from Fly! Coming to follow up into a call! Let the spin skirt dumps one! It's a double kill! It's an accurate slam! It's a disaster! Oh, VP!
Toby is also really good at commentary because he used to do acting jobs, so he knows how to use his voice without depleting it. And I think the Korean commentators do that as well. They get singing lessons or voice lessons so that they can shout.
There was some clip on YouTube, the Korean casters, the hype level it wasn't just there, it was like here.
And it was just this boring farm fest that went on for forever. And meanwhile, there's just these 2 Korean casters that are going crazy over every little thing.
이거 전략 포즈 아닙니까?
They're bored out of their minds, but they're still yelling.
아니 이 장엄한 베나루의 홀에 예? 아까까지만 해도 도서관이었어요. 왜냐면 관중의 반들이 잠을 자고 있었거든요. 자다 깼는데 아직 게임하니까 짜증난다 이거죠.
They basically had to entertain the entire Korean audience or whoever was listening because the game was so dull.
그래 밀고 있죠. 그렇지. 밀고 있죠. 이게 그래 밀고 있어요. 그래 밀고 있어요. 야 제발.
Oh my god, I love that clip so much. Austin Major.
At Finem versus OG. It was the grand finals. It was an insane game. We're playing against Mega Creeps.
This was OD Pixel's moment. He starts talking on the microphone. He says some stupid shit. It makes no sense.
Is he going for it? He's not. He is. No, he is going for it. He's not. Oh my god.
No. Oh my god.
That could have been it! Anything he said would have gone down in Dota 2 history! And God, if it wasn't the perfect response to that moment.
The best commentators are the ones that can actually entertain the crowd and, more importantly, create the memories. When that one amazing play comes along, you have to elevate that to become memorable for eternity.
There's a lot of ways to screw up playing Dota 2. Misclicks, bad buybacks, item decisions, you name it. But no screw-ups in Dota 2 history are more famous than Team Orange's KYXY at TI3.
Orange versus 2011 international champions, Na'Vi.
It comes down to one single game, either team to take it, gonna head in to the grand final.
We were waiting backstage to see what's going to win between Orange and Na'Vi. From how we saw it, Orange had the upper hand. We're kind of preparing mentally to play against Orange in the finals.
We colossally fucked up that game. Like, we fed so much. It's like, if you watch that game, it's like feed after feed after feed after feed.
I remember KYXY was just a boss. He was doing so well at this TI. He was carrying Orange in so many of those matches. And
no way to stop it. I may as well just
then he has this moment.
Continue to farm up and then just deal with this Aegis when it comes out. Should be on the hands of Mushi and in fact goes to the hands of Windrunner. No.
Denial.
What?
They denied it. They failed.
Oh!
We didn't realize at first. If I remember correctly, we were still playing the game for like 5 minutes. And like the pressure was getting to us too, and like a lot of like stuff's going on. At some point, I think it was Dandy, or maybe Hawas. It's like, oh, they don't have the ages. Like,
I think it took a few seconds for like the casters to realize as well, if I remember correctly. Like the crowd as well. Everybody was like, a few moments later, were like, oh.
That doesn't happen. I mean, who does that, and why didn't he pick the edge? You have so many questions always on this that, I mean, you kind of ruined the game. It's the feeling that you're left with.
There's footage of KYXY at that moment as his heart literally shatters.
Заденаила! ВР заденаила!
ВР заденаила Аегис. Кто у нас там? Blood Angel? Blood Angel славился такими мувами.
Я не знаю, что еще должно здесь произойти. Нави,
When I saw that, I mean,
все получается. Даже Аегис просто...
I felt so bad for him. I felt so bad for KYXY.
I think it stays with him maybe all his life.
If we're gonna have him in the seat, we're gonna be talking about it with him.
Poor guy, don't bully him too much.
当时 Rosan 快死了，然后我不想捡到我的队友的，然后我又想要攻击那个 Rosan， 所以我就按 A， 然后就不小心把那个盾 A 掉，然后我的队友就很不懂发生什么事情，以为我把盾抢了这样。
That's what he was doing. Literally, that's what he was doing. Just spamming it like that, you know, just going ham, making it feel like it will kill it faster or something like that, or like you're just so nervous, probably.
当时我是超级内疚，因为那个是我们败者组的决赛了，就毕竟我们赢了就可以去决赛。那我是觉得非常的内疚，因为我们很难才达到这个地步，这样子对。打完比赛过后，我的队友就告诉我不要那么内疚，因为我也是有功劳才能够达到前3这个成绩的，对，就这样叫我不要内疚。
The truth is that, you know, mistakes, they happen. And this is when you need your team. You need your teammates to be there for you. Just like when you're going to be there for them, once that's going to happen to them.
I think every pro Dota player at some point has made a fatal mistake in a game. And all you can do is try and move past it and either try and still win the game if it's winnable or just go on to the next one.
然后也希望那些有做失误的人不要那么觉得内疚，因为毕竟还是要继续成长这样。对，没错。
So when people think about mistakes when it comes to Dota, people think about the things that happen inside of the game while the match is live. You don't really think about mistakes happening in the draft, but this is one of the biggest mistakes that has ever happened at a TI. So it was TI 9, Alliance versus RNG, and it's the lower bracket best of ones, where there's the most hype and the most pressure. One screw up, and you are just out of the international.
You know, going into that game and seeing how the draft progressed, everything was kind of working out how we wanted it to go. Then it goes towards the end of the draft where Insania wanted to ban Naga.
We had these papers printed where you could see like their drafts and what they had been playing a lot, and Mickey was like, I don't think they really play that much Naga if I recall correctly. And then I don't know if I was too caught up in the moment or what it was. So I started looking at the papers, I forget about the timer, and then I'm like, all right, you're right, we should ban the gyro. And I move my mouse, pull it over to gyro, don't look at the timer, and just click it. And right as that happens, the clock takes over. And I picked the gyrocopter.
We didn't find anything.
Oh my god. Are you serious?
Whatever.
Specifically, they've had it so many times, and Thompson has just looked really good in that hero. So I think RSG's got to adjust. They do change their bans here. I'm very curious. The draft is on hand. We'll see it very shortly, I'm sure. But they changed their bans here, Mike. They take out the Undying and the Morphling. So they leave the Marcy in for potentially Ana to play once more. And for T1, I mean, they're taking care of some excellent specials. Batrider gone. That's something we've seen RSG enjoy on Xiao Yu and on Exilern. And they've got room to kind of just ban more comfort from there. The Primal Beast could be one thing to take away now. Mid stuff like the DK, I think for Exilern is one of his best heroes on mid. Something he's performed on along with his Ember. It could be safe bans as well. They take out the Faces Void instead for MKS that we have seen rise up. But they've got this opening. If RSG doesn't take the Marcy here, T1 probably just going to pick it straight up.
Absolutely. See if RSG do want to take it. They have the opportunity to deny the Marcy away. Problem is with these kind of drafting style is you don't want to like draft into T1, but you do have to address it, and they do take the Marcy. Luckily, Marcy, very, very strong in the meta. RSG, they'll have a fun time running this one as well. So T1, they will not have the opportunity for the Morph, nor the Marcy, nor the Undying. And that means we should see something new coming out from these two cores here on the side of T1. Let's see where this draft is headed. You mentioned it last game, T1. Surely they have a few more strats up their sleeves, a few more heroes up their sleeves that we haven't seen yet. I'm very curious to see where they want to go with this.
It's really open. And because of how they're scrimming, because of how close to their chest they're keeping their cards, no one has that much info what they want to do. They go with the Enigma, which is kind of just a safe pickup. You could run it support, you could run that for Cuckoo offlane, and this is a more classic E1 draft, right? We see the Trained Protector come out, and that tends to be either Zephyr or Whitemon playing it. They do love that hero equally. So there's some flex here. You could still run the Enigma on the support role for one of these two. You could give it to Cuckoo very early on. But this does, just from the first phase, this seems much more manageable. Like the Wombo combo is there, don't get me wrong. Black Hole and Overgrowth is big. But in terms of kind of figuring out a playstyle from T1, this is the most straightforward they've opened with yet.
I appreciate the Rubik pickup at the very least from RSG. Obviously one of the best counters towards the Enigma. Always forcing the BKB into the Lincoln Sphere to make sure you don't give a free black hole away. Back the way of RSG. Also very good Rubik pick here into the Train Protector, right? Like you love stealing Overgrowth as well. Both very, very potent abilities to have on a hero like the Rubik. So far, I think RSG off to a fantastic start with this draft.
Yeah, I think they've got the answers to what might come out. I mean, you've got very good spells to steal from the Treant and the Enigma. Of course, Black Hole, it's going to be relatively easy to reach out to here for Xiaowan Bon. More than likely that here, they still keep it open, kind of ensuring that the Marcy could be flexed here onto offlane for Xiao Yu or support if need be. Although it is looking like you are just running the Marcy and Rubik laning combo now. T1 for their part starting to ban out some bigger heroes. They take care of the Bristleback. RSG respect banning out this Invoker and a Problem Beast. So they are focusing mainly on tops in here. As it does feel like the mid's been their biggest issue, right? Like the Morphling costing the issues last time. Ano, not so much. He did turn into more of a tempo Undying, although his presence from the early game was definitely felt. But I think RSG has a good guiding post as to what to do now. Like as long as they take care of some of those freakier mids, tops, and can make work like magic, you should have yourself a better time.
And RSG, these guys are a great team. Can't underestimate RSG whatsoever. Game 1 didn't look amazing for them, but they've adjusted. They've got a new draft going, new game, fresh mindset. Speaking of fresh mindset, Thompson, he's having a deep think to himself about it. Really thinking about what he's playing this game around. Why not mid Enigma, Thompson? Why not? I dare you.
Oh God. I don't think so, but never know, I guess, with Thompson. Could just go with something insane like Max Midnight Pulse Builder, Max Malefice Builder for Eidolons could be one way. I don't expect that. You never know, I suppose. Never out of the realm of possibilities here for T1. For RSG, I mean, they're really having to think hard about these bans. Maybe at this point you just ban some of the more standard heroes. Ember Spirit could be one way. We know Ana still plays that here as well. He used to love it on safe lane. So you could still take care of the Ember here. Kind of kill two birds with one stone. there's not too much kind of scaring them away here from the bans as well. I mean, it's fairly safe bans from T1, like Winter Wyvern, Bristle. You've got a lot of room to just build up, double down on what core you'd want here for MKS. You've got the Marcy to buff it up. Stuff like Jug feels pretty good. Terrorblade doesn't look too bad for RSG if T1 doesn't ban it in the next phase. So those could be considerations for them as well. But RSG are really taking their time. I think they're really just wondering what the hell is up with this opening.
Yeah, it's a weird one, that's for sure. I mean, they've got at least 2 more cores to ban out. We highly doubt it's a Tree and Protector core here. It should just be a white one on that. So they'll get rid of the Zeus. Fair enough. Something I was quite expecting. T1, 1 more ban for themselves. Not too much reserve time used for T1. They don't seem quite as concerned about this draft. It's a much more standard opening here for the side of RSG.
5 seconds remaining.
Have a bit of a think about it. We saw the Wyvern ban out earlier, so maybe just afraid of a Pos 5 Wyvern. And no, a mid Wyvern could come out. There's your Pango being banned out now as well by T1. We can see the drafts continue. Pango ban obviously pretty damn good against the Train Enigma. Just another way of cancelling off the Black Hole in the middle of these team fights. Let's get rid of that Rolling Thunder opportunity that RSG could have gone for. T1, they'll have first pick in the second phase of picks. Get more cores to come out. They could still choose to go for a position 4 pickup for Zephyr, but no, they'll go down the Lone Druid route now.
It's a safe bet. I mean, nothing from RSG really melts that. We saw how fast the Lone Druid can take these objectives. So it looks like T1 might be doubling down on that good old T1 playstyle of just make sure your towers never fall with a tree, get some insane push out for the rest of your team. You've got the Eidolon army, you've got the Bear, Mask of Madness build into Deso, towers just melt. RSG has some solutions to that. I mean, the Marcy can kind of gun down the Bear, considering how much damage Marcy just naturally has with the Unleash up. So you could still melt it. Rubik with the damage reduction's also pretty alright in slowing it down to some extent. They will pick the Death Prophet on their side now on RSG, so that is still flex. I feel like Raji's the kind of guy who would still run a DP5 if he wants.
Yep.
But it could also just be the Exilor in mid. I mean, you don't really see your matchup yet here for RSG. You could just kind of flex it for Roger. He still loves these Stranger 5s overall. Like, again, last time I saw him on his stream before he joined RSG, he was playing stuff like Ember 5 and saying stuff like that works. So,
yeah, it does.
Never mind.
An Omni Knight. Yeah, Omni Knight is out now, so that should be the Roger hero. But the thing is, John, Omni Deep is extremely potent. We've seen this before. Very hard to control the Death Prophet when she's got an Omni Knight right behind here, and even with the Marcy, again, you just love to kind of rebound in. You like to pop that Unleash, pop the Sidekick, and just get to work. With the Heavenly Grace and Guardian Angel behind you, you're going to feel a lot more safe doing that. Going back to the Death Prophet pick as well, John, I do appreciate it, considering you are up against a Train Protector, all that bonus armor and HP regen you give to the towers with that living armor. Not going to be so much of a problem anymore with the push that you have from the DP. And it is one of those heroes that naturally does quite well into the Lone Druid as well. So the drafting from RSG, I would argue, is probably a lot better than Game 1, at least for now.
And it's shaping up a lot better. And you see the Pwop come out here for T1.
What am I laughing about?
No, every time he laughs when they pick something up, I keep thinking, are they going to flex this? Is this why they're having a Google? Are we going to have something weird? Like, I don't know, support Lone Druid, flex that away, run something like on a Quap? Surely not. Now that is definitely thinking way too outside the box. I mean, just a mid Quap versus DP sounds like a pretty good matchup. It does feel a bit too much to go that way. I mean, we did see a support Quap, to be fair. You know, we did just see that recently, which means Cuckoo might be able to maybe just take something like a Tree and offlane if you really wanted to. Or the LD offlane, but I doubt you kind of go that route. Like, one of these, well, one set of 2 here has got to be the support for sure. And RSG, this doesn't look like as much of an unmanageable matchup, although the magic damage output of T1 kind of nullifies the Guardian Angel. Like, you've got Sonic Wave, Black Hole, Those are pretty good already, even if that saving spell comes out from the Omni Knight.
Final banouts are here, Jonathan. They are upon us. My question to you, RSG, they are lacking a position 1 right now. You'll see T1, they do ban out the Terrorblade for now. Is there a particular pos 1 you think that fits the bill very good for RSG in this draft?
Seeing a straightforward pick, maybe. I mean, the Slark didn't have the best of times. The Slark could still be all right with the protection of the Omni Knight. Jug could be one way. You naturally build into a Maelstrom. You can clear out the Eidolon army. Omni Slash gives you some options to play.
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe you go a little bit strange instead. Luna could be one way to get that push accelerating on RSG's end, although we don't tend to see a lot of Luna nowadays. Weaver's not really the most slippery. I mean, it is, but you've got Overgrowth and Black Hole, so you should still be able to intercept a Weaver at some point if you wanted to go that route, and they do ban the Life Sealer instead, which can make sense. I mean, Life Sealer plus Marcy is pretty damn strong here for MKS. Just ensure that you don't have that option to rage out of Overgrowth as well. Can be annoying, or just rage out of control in general outside of Black Hole. Or she's gonna have to show first, so T1 can adjust very nicely here.
Dire team pick.
Much reserve time left here for RSG, only 3 seconds, and they are going to go the Troll Warlord route. I mean, that's fair enough. You can build up into the Dispel build up as well, right? With the shards on Troll Warlord these days, and it is a nice way of getting out of the root of the Lone Druid, I believe. So, and the Overgrowth even. So it could work out that way. Against the Lone Druid, you catch yourself, you know, kind of
5 seconds
in a bit of an awkward pickle. At least you have the Battle Trance. Even against the Quap, the Ensnare is going to be quite nice. Troll, not one of the strongest pos 1s, but again, with an Omni Knight behind him, with that Natural Dispel as well, it could just be the way that RSG needs to go. Because there really wasn't many pos 1s left that could deal with what the draft of T1 is trying to do. As I see smiling faces once again, what are T1 thinking? What are they picking up? Something's happening.
Oh yeah.
Are we going to see something cheeky?
Whenever they have those big smiles on their face, I just feel like they have something up their sleeve, or maybe they're just joking around. They're like, oh, this is going to be easy, or something like that. Or Whitemon's just saying something dumb, but I know. But the possibility of them just doing something crazy is the one that's always on my mind. Like,
just noticed as well, we haven't had the pleasure of seeing Whitemon snacking this afternoon either, which is very exciting. No Snackmon for us, as they are going to go down the Razor route. So nothing too cheeky going on, just pretty standard. Razor against Troll Warlord, though not a very fun matchup for the Troll. You know, you just get static linked. It's kind of rough. Anna's going to take the Lone Druid pos 1, tops in the mid Quap, so nothing crazy going on here. It is going to be a support Whitemon Enigma, though. So pos 5 Enigma to come out, Zephyr playing the pos 4 Treant, and Cuckoo will be taking the pos 3 Razor. Again, pretty nice pickup, though. Against the Troll Warlord, it's just not going to be a very fun time.
It's certainly not. My one concern for T1 is a general lack of control outside of these ultimates. Like, you are relying pretty much just on the bear rooting people up. Outside of the Overgrowth and Black Hole and the Malefice. Malefice not the lowest cooldown in the world either, once you commit that onto a hero. So it does feel like RSG is going to have a little bit more play here. Although T1's lineup can still get really aggressive if it gets off to a fast start. RSG should be able to hold out a little bit better. But if T1 plays to that same tempo from last time, and, you know, maybe stall out a little bit more from the laning phase, but say hit some early BKB timings here on T1's end, I think RSG still has overall the same issues that present itself from game one. It is certainly a lot more predictable as to what T1 will want to do. Nothing strange like the core pos 1 Undying, like the mid Morphling. They have managed to take that scariness away from T1, but I think even with a more straightforward draft, T1 still looks pretty scary to deal with.
I agree with you. At the very least, it should be a closer game number 2, and I would agree with that as well. I think the drafts are much more even going into this game number 2, and we'll see. It's all about how you perform. So we are going to head into game number 1. John, 4 predictions to be made, so we need the guaranteed answers for some Battle Pass points. What are you thinking?
Time of first tower destruction, can see it around 8 to 11. There's a chance for sub 8, but 8 to 11 is always the safer bet. Player with the first triple kill. It's pretty hard to call. Maybe. maybe Thompson. Player with the highest total magic or pure damage done to heroes at game end. Oh, Igma can get a good bounce done, or Exilern can. Magic, but perhaps still Thompson. First player to get 15 denies. Wanna lean towards rough, but maybe Ana. There you go.
Thank you, John. You sounded very confident with those predictions. I appreciate that.
Absolutely not.
We move into game number 2. Bit of a group up here from RSG in that dire jungle. 5-man group up here, looking to maybe secure a first blood in an early team fight. They do draw a line down towards the other side of the map, so they really want to force this fight. T1 off guard. One on the other side, not going to get caught out. RSG, they've run out of time anyway. And there was an observer ward watching their position all along, so it won't really matter. It's going to be a 2-for-2 trade on the bounty, so another nice even start between these two teams. And as per usual, John, let's start off with the mid lane here. You're going to have Exilern on his signature Death Prophet flying out. He is going to be against the Queen of Pain of Thompson. Of course, last laning stage, Exilern was trying extremely hard to be aggressive against the Morphling with his Primal Beast. It did not work out in his favor. This laning stage, John, at least in terms of hero matchups, what do we think?
I think it's actually pretty even. Like, DP tends to win out most mid lane matchups. You play with the Spirit Siphon fairly well, and you can just kind of clear out the creep wave very nicely with a Crypt Swarm. But Thompson should be able to trade nicely as well with a Shadow Strike. He gets a little bit of healing. He's going to have some wave clear with the Scream, and he's going to have the in comparison to Exilern, who doesn't have mobility on hand. You can already see Exilern dropping fairly low from the back and forth there. Gonna have to kind of juggle around at regen. Rune advantage should be onto Thompson as well if he does manage to get the value point in the blink. So it should be smooth sailing for him unless a support rotation comes in and catches him off guard.
What about that bot lane, Jonathan? You're going to have Zephyr, Cuckoo. They'll be against Zhao Bonbon and Zhao Yu. So the lane switch up is there. They naturally don't want to have to lane the Troll against the Razor. Make sure that does not happen. It's not so easy for Zhao Yu anyway on the offlane Marcy, but at the very least you do have a nice way of escaping with the rebound. That's what they're kind of playing off here. Even if you don't have that, you at least have the lift back of Zhao Bonbon to help you out. But it still should be a rather dominant lane here for Cuckoo and Zephyr, it feels.
Yeah, they should still have a lot of play. Once they're kind of able to just run down, get some slows off with a Plasma Field, and kind of connect that with Nature's Grass, they could look to just chase down a hero, still have a great time in lane. Cuckoo's finding some farm. He's not slowing down Xiao Yu, but the earlier build-up for the Razor does feel like it's going to show up a little bit more. If he does hit his level 6 spike, can just melt these heroes, but there's a weird back and forth when you are Marcy versus Razor. Like, you have to choose whether or not you save a rebound for a retreat or for an offensive move. Very, very true. Of course, that final lane up the top lane, MKS copping a fair bit of harassment here from Anna's Spiritfarer and Whitemon with those Eidolons. Roger is going to be there, so chances are he should not die. Even if he does get caught by the root of the Spirit Bear, should have the Heavenly Grace to save, so MKS should be just fine in this top lane. In terms of farm, so far they are pretty much on par. 7 for 7 in terms of CS between these two position ones. And so I imagine this is going to be a pretty standard kind of farming lane between the two heroes. Roger. Bit of damage here from Whitemon, but they do farm up quite a lot of those Eidolons, and that's going to be some nice gold to go back the way of MKS. It's a decent amount of gold to come out. I think you're still all right with that. The Eidolons aren't worth too much, and Ana, as long as he's not the one being jumped on, it's fine.
Bot lane, drop slow. Verifier is going to be there. Zephyr, he'll salve up. He's barely going to survive. No first blood to go the way of RSG quite yet.
Trying to be aggressive, and I do appreciate that. They've got the level 2 rebound. They've got both the Telekinesis and the Fade Bolt, so they can try to run someone down. It's just Tree and Protector is also fairly tanky. Again, if you do land on the wrong spot of the map, the slows coming out from the grass, Plasma Field will allow Cuckoo to turn, so you kind of need to temper your aggression. Thompson's starting to comp a little bit more from mid. Is starting to find his spacing here with the levels up on the Crypt Swarm. He always has a bit the threat of the rundown and Spirit Siphon. The value point and blink is up, but when you're trading with Shadow Strike versus trading with Crypt Swarm, it does feel better for the Death Prophet there.
Oh, I love myself a duel. Here we go. The gauntlet's up again between Xiao Yu and Cuckoo. The offlaners having a go at each other. I do agree with your point though. I mean, Exilern's having a really nice time this mid lane. Mind you, he was leading in CS last game around as well against the Morphling on the Primal Beast, but this is much more dominant so far. 21-8 compared to 15-0 of Thompson. Exilern again, he's very strong when it comes to playing this Death Prophet. He's already off to a fantastic start.
Gonna have a good timing on for the 6. We'll see if that's something RSG will be able to group around. I think the one issue for RSG in playing around with something like that early timing from Death Prophet is that your support duo isn't the most active. Your rotations aren't that scary, and they'll try onto Whitemon just a bit here.
A bit of crack. They don't have any more slows, and Anna is going to cut them off. MKS does get rooted up by the bear, but does have the whirling axes. Just avoid the bear going any further. Just really trading farm, a little bit of harassment being traded as well, but no kills to come out topside either. At the very least, MKS, with all these Eidolons he's been farming, his CS is looking pretty darn good right now. He's 25-11 compared to the 18-6 of Anna. But again, I do think a lot of those are going to be Eidolons.
And in terms of net worth, he is up there as well. All the cores of RSG are finding a much better time in their lanes and getting that initial farm up. So the slower pace is starting to benefit them, although...
Mid lane, Link Away is going to be there. Xiao Bonbon trying to get active here with Exilern. They don't have any points in the silence, though. Had they had 1 point, that probably would have been a kill on Thompson. Decide to go for the level 3 Spirit Siphon instead, and Thompson, oh, he blinks right into Xiao Bonbon. Where's the vision? Thompson, he's going to drop. Cheeky plays from RSG. First blood to go the way of the Radiant. Very nice from Xiao Bonbon. You love to see that positioning.
Just sneaks behind. He knows Thompson will likely try to just get more, and he punished really well. Exilern getting some good damage off onto Zephyr. Might not have enough for the full kill, but he has the Exo.
He does have the Exo. Into Zephyr he goes. The action does begin. Meanwhile, Whitemon barely able to TP away on the Enigma. Zephyr doesn't look so lucky, but Thompson, he's here to try and help out. Exilern, he'll abuse the Spirit Siphon on the creep wave and be able to survive a little bit longer. Thompson not at that level 6 mark yet, so couldn't throw Sonic Wave out to finish the job. And somehow Zephyr, off the back of Thompson, will survive.
They do force Exilern to just TP all the way home, though. So the Exorcism doesn't actually do much onto that mid-tier 1. And you're pretty satisfied about that for your tier 1. You don't lose your support. You did drop Thompson, but you stop that push, and that does feel like a lot of the momentum of RSG. It's going to have to wait for another cooldown to go off first.
Radiant forts have been fortified.
Mid lane, trying to be a little bit more aggressive here on the quad. Force out the glyph here onto the tier 1 tower. Top lane, Anna. Spirit Bear is falling low, but here come the rotations. MKS out of position, trying to harass Anna, but this may cost him his own life. The Nature's Grasp, the Malefice, it's all there, and MKS is going to go down. The highest CS on the board has died. Anna, he'll be the one to take the kill, and that's going to feel very good for that lone druid. Trouble. Expose is there. Xiao Yu, he has plenty of damage with the sidekick, but not while the static link is going. Cuckoo, very confident with that living armor to back him up as well. He will not drop.
Radiant's top tower is under
It just goes back to that weirdness of having Marcy versus Razor. Like, you can save the rebound to get away from static link, but to go onto the Razor or anyone else, you need that rebound up. So it just feels like the Razor has the edge there every single time, forcing that choice out. Exilern?
Whitemon's around. No level 6 timing yet on the Enigma. He's only level 3, so Exilern is going to be happy enough to keep chasing Whitemon, and it looks like he's got himself another kill. Very nice pick up there from Exilern as Thompson. He's going to try and chase down Roger. Sonic Wave is up, but Exilern's going to make it very hard to chase him down. Death Prophet, so far so good. 1-0-1 is the scoreline of Exilern. Laning stage has gone extremely well against Thompson, and just waiting for the next Exo to maybe start pressuring that mid-tier 1 tower again.
Few seconds away from that cooldown. They're really dragging a lot of supports mid, and they just can't get too much done. Exo's up. Whitemon, he only really has the Malefice to scare them back. And It's not enough to really stop Exilern.
Silence is there. They'll blow up Thompson. Nice lift there from Zhao Bonbon, and Exilern this time with the 1 point in the silence is going to have plenty of controllers now. Zhao Yu does rotate. Waimon gets caught out. That's going to be a second. This is more like the RSG we know and love, John.
Oh yeah, they're in form. I think all they had to do is really just force T1 to play a much more standard game. No messing around with a draft. Nothing too strange, and this is just straightforward RSG. They got a strong lane for Exilern. He plays these tempo mids that just kind of focus on objectives, just like his DK as well that he excels on. And they just kind of focus in on him. They have really good saving supports, decent enough hold coming out from Zhao Bonbon, and now they swing up top. MKS, he's got level 1 fervor, so it's not the fastest progress, but still more than enough to kind of work through the loving armor if they want.
Absolutely. AS, he'll get to work. Smoke is out from T1. They are trying to rotate up towards that top lane. T1 are trying to buy a bit of time. There's the glyph out. Through the dire jungle, Thompson and Whitemon, they are sneaking up from the backside. Problem is Zhao Bonbon is there to break the smoke and not allow the pincer maneuver that T1 was trying to go for. Nice deny though from Zephyr. He does at least get the T1 tower denied off as Zhao Bonbon is running. Heavenly Grace does buy him a little bit of time. But Thompson will eventually take down the Rubik, even finding the Courier of Roger. But if you're RSG, you're very happy with that trade. You got the top tier 1 tower. Even if it was denied off, who the hell cares? It's enough.
You open up the map more. You can invade that forward part, the top jungle. Give MKS a really good spot to farm in as he builds into this Battle Fury. And the Battle Fury, it makes sense because you do feel like this could be a longer game with a lone druid. Speaking of, Ana.
Well, still is there. Zhao Bonbon has got his own spirit bear now. It's even green. Look at that, Jonathan. You don't see that too often. A green bear coming up from Zhao Bonbon. They'll lift up the other. And the spirit bear, well, going down, is going to try for a TP away. Anna, oh, he's going to make it. No roots coming out from the spirit bear of Zhao Bonbon. Well, that's not very nice.
That's very unfortunate. I wonder if you're a Rubik and you steal the bear, you try to save it the entire time and give it your farm. I mean, you're not gonna farm off, but sounds funny. It's probably not. I mean, Zhao Bonbon is working towards the Ags. He's gonna have a nice set of spells to steal out, especially from, again, White when he eventually finds a 6.
I just had to say off the back of your point there about the Rubik Spirit Bear. There was a bug once, wasn't there, where you had Rubik Spirit Bear, and if you give it items, the items just disappear forever?
Yeah.
I don't know if that ever got fixed, John. I don't know if it ever got fixed.
It's true. Why is it normal colored when it gets disarmed? That's funny. It's not green anymore when it's out of range, so
it's a feature.
All right. Does it stay if you steal a different spell? Surely it does, right?
Sure. I don't think so. Never mind, we'll find out later. Roger, he's going to drop mid lane. Exilern, he might have the Spirit Bear this time. Goes to chasing. Never mind, it will survive as now the Sonic Wave. Thompson going to push back the Death Prophet. In comes a new Spirit Bear. And Exilern, he will be punished. Anna, he'll take a double kill on the Lone Druid. That's a big pick off here for T1.
That's a lot of gold to funnel out onto Ana. Working onto that Desolator timing we talked about earlier. Once that's up, these objectives will just up. And they're starting to make moves onto that mid. Whitemon, he's level 5.5. No threat of Black Hole to kind of sustain them through this. They will force out the Fortify and the rotation out from MKS, but they are making moves bot.
Yeah, bot lane, Cuckoo dropping low. The living armor keeping him alive. The Thompson now dropping low as well. Zhao Yu, he's dropping the lowest, however, on the Marcies. He does try to run, but the Shadow Strike and the Scream from Thompson barely within ranges now. He's gone a bit far, but the Fairy Fire is going to keep him alive. Zhao Yu cops the tip from Cuckoo. Cuckoo will not drop here on the Razor. That'll be another 2 kills the way of T1.
They're starting to feel themselves getting some aggression out, while RSG kind of wants to play that farm game. RSG has to work as a unit. You can't afford to kind of just have Exilern and Roger just run up by themselves. Like, there's not enough play outside of the sustain game for the Death Prophet. You do need some damage up. You do need some additional control. Zhao Bonbon does provide. You kind of want to play as a unit of 3 or 4. You're at the point where Zhao Yu, once this BKB is up, should be a lot comfier in trying to join together, so you're really just buying space for MKS at that point. For T1, And they managed to really give Ana space. They're just running away from where the Bear's playing, allowing this farm, allowing this build-up. Number 2 in net worth on Ana. And again, once that Deso is up here, and these towers are not going to last too long. You've got the Black Hole ready on Whitemon now as well. It's a little bit of a threat, and you still have to watch for Xiaobon Bon. That additional hold is ready if need be.
That it is. I mean, he won't have anything like a blink or a BKB. It is that added factor, just that fear factor, right? Of where's the Enigma? Have we got a stun ready for him? Where's our Rubik? Is he ready to steal the spell? Speaking of that Rubik, John, I just realized Xiaobon Bon has an Axe queued up and is trying to farm it.
Yeah, he's had it queued for a while. I mean, he's been trying to save up for it. It's progressing nicely enough, and just the Ogre Axe at least makes you a little bit more durable as well. And again, he has a lot of spells to steal. He's a lot to work up towards. Question is whether or not he gets that fast enough. This game just feels a tiny bit slower for RSG. They're not really able to snowball too much. They might find Ana if he's not careful, but he does run off at the right time.
True form. John looking to cut him off, but he's just an Omni Knight, so hard to catch Ana while the tier 1 bottom tower still stands. Back their way out, and on the brighter side for RSG, even if you don't catch the Lone Druid, MKS is still out farming the Lone Druid right now and has the Battle Fury up. So his farm is set to escalate a lot quicker on the Troll Warlord. We'll be working onto the BKB, into the Aghanim Scepter. We'll have the Dispel with the Ags as well. Very, very effective here against the side of T1. Okay, yes, very important. He maintains that net worth lead.
He's getting the space he needs as well. I think T1 does have information as to his farming patterns. That forward triangle ward's great, rotating mid.
Very DP from XE Learn. He does have Roger behind him, and that's going to give him the confidence to be in that position. As now the rebound, Cuckoo, he tipped earlier. Is he going to drop? Overgrowth is out. That'll put a hold to everything. Even the Exo pop, they really want this Razor. Zhao Yu chasing desperately. Even the silence on the Razor, but Cuckoo's fine.
You are dead.
Walks right out.
Dead.
And they are going to get nothing out of this Exorcism being popped.
Tower is under attack.
Massive. That's a long cooldown spell. Archie might feel pressure to rush. The scan does spot them in that area, and they will go in. Thompson's got a flank. There's a ward that does spot him out here, though.
Feel very forced to try and make this Roshan play because the Exo was used. Thompson, oh, he's under vision. He gets lifted up. The silence there as well. Thompson, he's a big pick-off, but he's still gets the blink away. Xiaobon Bon chasing him down, but cannot cancel the TP. Still, this does open up the Roshan once again. Problem is, Exo is now gone. So it's up to MKS to get the damage out with Zhao Yu. 4 TPs incoming. Roshan very low now. You don't have the pop to blink in and try for a steal. Plasma Field is there, but it's too late. Roshan, it did bash for a moment, but MKS still picks up the Aegis. Even the Guardian Angel being popped is now Cuckoo. He'll rush in. Learn in trouble. Roger's already gone. The DP will drop as well. Cuckoo will take it. At the very least, RSG do secure the Aegis. Even Roshan was trying to help out T1 there. John with that final hit bash, leaving the Aegis on the deck. Luckily, Thompson, he was not around to take us out. MKS gets slowed up.
Radiant's middle tower is fallen.
He's not going to get dived past the tier 2 though.
The Dire's top
The
tower
T1,
is under attack.
that still feels bigger for them. The kill on the mid, they take over the triangle. They should know there are a couple of wards now in this area. And you're at the point where Ana with the Deso can just melt these objectives on a turn. Still TPing out, trying to find punishment.
Get the Spirit Bear. Slow is there. Ana will try for the respawn if he wishes. We'll go for the Fear instead. Still running. T1 is around if they really want to force a fight. The Spirit Bear is just casually walking away. Zephyr is out with the Overgrowth as well. He might just pop it. It's a great position for T1, but they don't even need it. Zhao Yu's gone. T1 will just slowly creep their way back towards the Radiant Triangle as the Spirit Bear's giving all the vision. They won't find anything else though.
No need to rush. They're saving up for some spikes. Whitemon could just rush into the blink here. He's got 2.3k in the bank. We have not seen him have to use the black hole. He does opt for the mech instead. I'm probably just going for Yeah, going straight for the raid pack right afterwards. All aura here, not even needing the black hole this game, as the threat for the Rubik is annoying. With the Age is still on hand on RSG though, they might force something.
Wyman looking to tank the gank here for the team. Does end up going down. Quick pick off here from RSG. Finding the pos 5 of T1. You'd love a bit more if you're RSG. For a bit of a chase, but we'll find nobody else. So I say that. Cuckoo, he will be eventually spotted in the diet triangle, but they're not in position to make the jump yet. In fact, rebound is there now. Xiao Yu, he'll go in. Cuckoo, this time alone for now, has the living armor. There's your overgrowth. Zephyr, he will not be able to save the day. They will take him out. Cuckoo is gone, and now XE learned he wants a little bit more. They'll catch Zephyr out on the tree, and that'll be a second. And with the XO up, RSG, they should have an opening for this tier 2 mid tower. T1, can they defend this? Anna's popped the true form. It looks like they'll try and slow this one down. Fear in. Fear is there. Sonic Wave will find Roger. That's the Omni Knight. Now the roots are out. The ensnares locking down the Marcy. There is no escape. No tier 2 tower to go for RSG. They will be forced to retreat.
That's a great defense coming out for T1. It looks a little bit wonky, dropping your supports like that, but of course do have enough in them to just kind of get it done themselves. Aegis still stands for 2 minutes. They're trying to get something out with it, but it doesn't feel like MKS can just fully commit with a secondary life. His BKB is almost done, 300 gold away. That could be the timing for RSG to kind of start playing off the back of this troll. As T1's just allowed to drag this game, I mean, Battle Fury Troll is still losing out to the Lone Druid of Ana. The farm is still ramping up on this Lone Druid. The bear is just becoming this massive threat. AC is almost done on Ana, and once that bear is set, it's kind of ready.
KS not able to lock down Thompson. Xiao Yu is looking for a rebound angle. Is going to go in, but misses Zephyr. Lust was there, but that also misses. Now they'll see the tree, but he's okay to back off. RSG, they just want the tier 2 mid tower. Living armor makes it so hard with all that bonus armor being provided. KF still trying. Xiao Yu with the jump in has found this Zephyr tree and will take him out. Great plays from RSG. Can they force high ground? MKS seems like he wants to try. There is 45 seconds left on this Aegis. Rebound is out from Xiao Yu, but Cuckoo, he does avoid it. Meanwhile, MKS dropping rather low. Aegis only 30 seconds away from expiring, and they don't want to risk it anymore. In the meantime, as you can see, Anna, he was split pushing the bot lane, but Jean Bon is there to defend on the Ruby.
They can't quite just freely take objectives just yet. Ana still has to keep his body a bit close. Probably not going to be going for the Axis game as well, unless the game goes ultra late. So we'll have to watch himself a little bit more. With the opening from mid RSG, they have some play potential. They've got a little bit more map control, maybe slightly easier Roche access if they do manage to find the outpost in the top jungle. E1 for their part, they're still in a pretty comfy spot. They're not far behind, less than 1k lead. Most of that in the core-to-core matchup from XLRN, really. That seems to be where most of the farm differential's at, along with Xiao Bon. Smoke out here from T1. They've got all their spells ready. We haven't, again, ever seen the black hole from Whitemon because of Xiao Bon's presence. So there is still that threat to fight without the Rubik here.
So only 8 to 12. It's been a very slow game between these two teams. We've seen pickoffs here and there, but no massive team fights broken out yet. No 5-on-5s is what I'm saying here. John and Xiao Yu. Jump is down to the Marcy, but he's going to BKB. Nice rebound out. They got the overgrowth to lock him down, but Xiao Yu now looking for a turnaround. Has found Cuckoo. Will force out another BKB as Whitemon on the side. Ready with the black hole, but the silence is going to put an end to that. They'll lift up Whitemon and take him out. Sonic Wave even being committed, and now Anna. Got hit a few times by the Marcy, but doesn't really take too much damage. He's looking to back up, but RSG are not. They will go for a chase. They've got the 4v5 advantage. They know the ultis are down. They want a bit more. Anna, he's going to try and fight back with the Heavenly Grace and the Guardian Angels. They are there. Fear is out there from Anna. He'll force them back once again. XE learn. He'll keep trying for the Spirit Bear, but it's still not going to be enough. Instead, the rebound, it will at least land onto Cuckoo. But these living armors make everyone so tanky. Nevertheless, RSG surrounding it by 5. They will take him out. But Zephyr, he's in again. Going for a bit of a rule on to jump on Bond. Now Thompson, MKS, he's in danger. Forced to pop the battle trance. Will go onto the Spirit Bear. It eventually should find it. And will Boana. He'll respawn the bear now. Back on a Roger. They've got the Omni Knight. That'll be one down. T1 looking for a bit more. Will start rushing as Cuckoo. He'll voice line from the graveyard. In goes Thompson. On decks he learned. A great nature's grasp. Holding two of them down. Jump on Bond. He's got the fear out. It's not going to be enough though. He will drop to Anna. And they'll even find XC Learn. RSG, they are trying so hard to punish T1. Get maximum value out of these fights. But T1, they turn it every single time.
It feels like RSG is just over-committing for these prolonged fights. Once you found those key pickoffs, once you pop that Guardian Angel, you don't have much more play left. T1, they've got pretty low cooldown spells. They've got this really jumpy quap from Thompson that you don't have the best control for. And you just kind of have to temper yourself here. You don't even have this BKB on Excellent. So it's not like your DP can stand frontline that safely yet. You don't have the, I mean, you have some good sustain coming out from Roger, but you know, it's not like the big flash heals, although.
Here we go again. Battle Trance is available for MKS. There are 5 heroes from T1 moving in. Big Sonic Wave out with the fear. There's just no chance. And on Thompson, they'll take down 2. And with the T1 group up toward the top lane, AC finished on the bear. It's time to maybe go for another T2 tower. At least their first T2 tower. But they will rotate mid lane instead. Maybe just not ready for it yet. As long as they're farming, they'll be happy. You are up against a Troll Warlord after all, and against the Lone Druid, against the Razor, it's not the most amazing matchup when you get into the late game for the Troll.
No, it's not an easy one for MKS, and they just kind of set themselves up for that. Cuckoo's last pick Razor just works out well in this draft.
Rebound, oh Zhao Yu, that's aggressive. He does have a BKB. He's got the Omni Knight to Heavenly Grace. They will put an end. Tier 2 push going on. Plenty of damage being dealt, but not quite enough to finish the job off. Zephyr, Flame might just be a little bit annoying, but Zhao Yu seems to know he is around somewhere. Wow. Zephyr though, gives him the buck and just TP's right out of there. No problem. So state of the game now. Head to 17. T1 1k ahead. RSG, they've been putting on a great performance, much better than game number 1. Still feels like T1 are favored in this game too, based off how the game's going. John, is there anything in particular you feel RSG need to do to really try and start dominating this game too?
Like, they have been finding support duo just fine. I think they need to be able to maybe put a handle on Thompson or Ana. Like, you need to stop this Quap from just jumping in and out. Your hold for the Queen of Pain isn't particularly amazing. Like, you have to be able to land this long duration silence up from Excellent on the DP, and then just hope to goodness that MKS can get some roots off in between as well to kind of just get that damage off. And once you do take care of Thompson, you do lose that disruptive factor in these fights. The Ag's fully up now as well on MKS, as you've been calling out, Mike. So the self-dispel and the enemy dispel on hand here for the Troll to play with should give more tools for MKS to kind of do what he wants in the middle here. But T1, when they just play it safe, they keep getting that farm up, they keep getting the build up. Once Cuckoo has this Heaven's Halberd, your window for MKS just becomes pretty damn tough to find.
He is. It certainly is, John. That Halberd's going to play a lot of dividends here. Going to pay a lot of dividends for T1, I'm sure. Fun fact, Jonathan, this whole game, I don't believe we've seen one Black Hole being committed yet by Whitebot. No. It's a bit sad for Zhao Bonbon. In fact, hold that thought. Zhao Yu made a jump in, but will make a jump right back out. But for Zhao Bonbon, he hasn't even had the chance to steal the spell yet.
Yeah, I think Whitemon really understands and respects just how well Xiao Bonbon can play that Rubik. Black Hole, it's not the hardest spell in the world to steal either. So you just play it safe. You don't give that opening for RSG. It feels if RSG had something like the Black Hole, these team fights would end up way differently. And the fact that T1's been finding these wins without having to use that team fight control means that, well, if you didn't need to cast it before, why start casting it now?
5-man smoke. RSG. They get some wards down on the high ground, but that's really about it. T1 are still holding their own dire jungle high ground, so they seem more than comfortable just waiting for the smoke to come in. Instead, RSG are going to try and force the Roshan. But the Eidolons, they had vision of this. T1 is well aware Roshan has been started. Second Roshan of the game. There's that halberd you brought up earlier. Cuckoo's got it up now. That's going to make life a lot harder for MKS. Bashes out from Roshan. Sounds there. Zhao Yu, he'll jump in. Whitemon will drop immediately. A nice start for RSG. No Enigma to worry about. T1 still trying to move in. Roshan getting low. There's a Sonic Wave out. Thompson! He takes the Aegis away from MKS! Oh, here we go. Zephyr, he'll pop the overgrowth. Still RSG, they are winning this team fight. Thompson, he'll blink away with the rebound. Zhao Yu, he's having none of it. He wants to punish Thompson, but he's the one to go down. In we go, Anna. He'll rejoin the fight. Spirit Bear rushing. He wants something for his trouble. Zhao Bonbon might just have to be the target, but he'll get Blinker. Nice spell still away from Zhao Bonbon, but Thompson still on the chase. Wants the Rubik, but he will be okay. What an Aegis snatch away from Thompson.
That Sonic Wave pushback just to give himself a little bit of window to pick up that. Aegis cuts off any advantage RSG wants. Like, they find the supports, cost them their offlane. They do force a buyback out, but it's not the biggest deal in the world here for T1 on the supports. They are getting massive on their course, like Thompson now with Pai Sanj. Very hard to pin down, and MKS.
He doesn't have Battle Trance for another second. It's available now, but he's going to have 0 damage in this if he can't get out. Thompson will not be able to slow him down. In fact, now the turnaround. RSG, they want to punish once again, but can they? Anna, he's around. No, the fear's out. No Battle Trance to come, and there's no buyback on MKS. This is not good. They're onto the high ground. Great fear from the Spirit Bearer of Anna. Just using the Savage Roar, and so we've got problems now, John. We have big problems for RSG. High ground has been started by T1.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that just melts.
It really does.
Yeah, I don't know if you can stop this right now on the side of RSG. You don't have Unleash for 40 seconds, no Troll for Turgy. That half minute's more than enough to clear out these 2 set of racks.
It's rough. There goes one. At least they have their tier 2 top tower, so you can't get Mega. You can get tier 4 if T1 are feeling extra spicy, but you cannot get Mega. Nullify now up on Anna.
It's a tough one. Nullifier just totally removes the Guardian Angel as a factor. Like, even if you use that to kind of dodge Anna and Cuckoo's damage, he's got a solution on hand. 13k net worth lead, 13 to 21 here for T1. The tier 2 tower, as you mentioned, still protecting RSG from full megas. But there's really nothing stopping T1 at this point. Again, they've been taking these fights without having Whitemon to use the black hole. I want to see him just go 0 black holes this game now. Just never use it. Why did he even use a skill point in it? He has it at level 2. Why? Just max out Midnight Pulse and get stats. You don't need that spell.
It's the 5-hit play from Whitemon. They can't steal this spell if I never use it. It's genius. You're right, John. Why even to skill it? It could have been the first game where Enigma just never skills Black Hole. The history of Dota. Whitemon, you could have made history, sir, but you didn't do it. You didn't do it, Whitemon. In we go. 5-man smoke against a 4-man smoke, but T1's got the high ground. They saw XE learn. They're going to jump in, force the BKB out. Thompson, he'll get silenced up, but he's got his own BKB as Zhao Yu jumps in onto the bear. Anna in trouble? Not really, though. They overgrowth Zhao Yu up. Heavily graced. It's going to buy a little bit of time for Zhao Yu to rebound out. Nobody dead quite yet on either side. So T1, they might need a back, though. Zhao Yu does drop now. Thompson, able to secure the kill on the Queen of Pain. Cuckoo still looking to move in again, looking to put a lid onto this game as T1. The much stronger team right now. The clock is ticking, says Cuckoo. And he's not wrong. RSG, they've got to find a way to defend this high ground. They're onto the final tier 3 tower. Look at that tower. It's gone. Anna annihilates him. In with the nullifier. MKS is gone. He'll buy back this time. He's got the gold available. Battle Trance is still up. But the Rax is gone. This bear is not fair. Oh, the roots around as well. The overgrowth from Zephyr. There goes XE Learn. Onto the tier 4 towers. GG's called. They've seen enough. Please leave us alone. T1 proving to be way too strong here against RSG. And there's your black hole out. Enjoy. People wanted in the chat. Whitemon, he's a man of the people. He'll throw the black hole out eventually. No spell still for Zhao.
В целом, что? Скажу, мы выбили легитимных чемпионов, дважды действующих, обыграли в общем противостоянии ВП за звание лучшей команды СНГ, и остался сильнейший соперник сейчас у нас.
It's the team everybody expected in the finals against the team that nobody expected in the finals.
10 seconds remaining.
Мало времени. На время не посмотрели.
Пикеман тоже.
Back into the claws of spirit.
没什么好慌的，是吧？我们反正已经走到这一步了，也不用怕太多，尽情发挥自己。如果实在打不赢，就是惜败，我们回去再努力，再加强。
До конца, каждую игру играем до конца. Мы отдаем им ни сантиметра на карте просто так.
Они такие же люди, такие же, как и мы.
每一把都当最后一把。对，每一把都当最后一把，然后就也不要怕输。
Добро пожаловать в сюжетную арку про Золушку Team Spirit.
I don't know if I really was angry so much. I was more like shocked. It was hard to like understand because even though you see it with your own eyes, like it's just like, how could this possibly happen?
Yes, I was on the panel. I was on the panel for Insanio picking Gyro. None of us noticed. Even when Lanem, Lanem's like pointing at his head, he's just like, are they, I don't know, I always want to hear what he was saying too. That's probably something really interesting.
空办 ，nice， 他把他选慌了，空办。
3位虚空，3位虚空。不是，我跟你说，不是他想搬飞机，你知道什么意思吗？他想搬飞机，他选到飞机了。我觉得
对面好像真这样，我
跟你说，他要搬飞机，
他双手插头了，
他没了。
就我们犹豫了片刻，然后后面反应过来，他们可能是点错了，然后点错了以后，我们就感觉有点搞笑嘛。
You were inside the pod at the time?
Yeah.
I can fuck. Why don't you know? Okay, sorry guys.
How about offlanes?
I can play mid gyro. Let's see what they pick, okay? Let's see what they pick. Don't pick your heroes, guys.
Don't worry. We got this.
All right, Loda, how are you feeling?
I think they're gonna do really well. Yeah.
Feel confident?
Yeah, I feel confident. First thought in my head is like, it's fine, we can fix this, right? I can play gyro mid. And 3 of us are like yelling, I can play gyro, it's fine.
I can play gyro against the lane top with Aiden. It's actually not that bad.
It is gonna be a story to tell, boys.
Yes, and if this works for any fucking team, it's our guy.
Listen.
How they react, what they do when they're put into this like near impossible situation, their first reaction is, it's okay, we can figure this out. I thought that was like just a beautiful moment.
When you're in the moment and someone like clearly messes up and there's no going back, the decision is done, you gotta help him because he's gonna feel bad about it, and the worst thing you can do is have him suffer alone.
So thanks boys. I appreciate it.
We're gonna have to play like...
Get him serious.
How do you think?
I mean, I've always known what kind of people I'm playing with. We make mistakes, maybe not of this like magnitude, but whenever we make mistakes in games and stuff, there's still the same 4 guys that are behind me backing me up, and like I feel like someone messes up, that's the kind of attitude I want to show towards them too. So I mean, life moves on, right? Like this is something that happened. I mean, if people get joy from it, then sure. I mean, why not? Like I'm down for the joke. Let's make it something fun. More than anything, I feel like it made me feel good that other people can see it, and they can see like this is who we are, this is how we treat Dota, and this is how we try to be like the best team we possibly could be.
The concept of Dark Horse in Dota has always been a big thing, and I think there's a lot behind it, a lot more than what people think.
It's some team coming out of nowhere. People don't expect them to be there.
Someone that will upset the whole tournament and that will make everyone go like, wow, these guys did something spectacular.
For the team that's going as a Dark Horse, it's an advantage, for sure.
The thing is, nobody's looking at you, even though you're the one that has a really good idea how to beat this tournament.
They just enjoy game after game, whereas other teams, they're like thinking about all the pressure or all what's at stake.
就是如果被大家都看好的情况下，其实压力是挺大的啊。如果有一场表现不好，或者说最后的成绩不好，就是整个心态不一样嘛，会比较容易崩溃吧，我觉得。
Maybe OG felt the pressure. That's why we lost against TNC.
We had played TNC before, many times, and there was no doubt in our mind and in their minds also that we were the better team. But they have this fire going for them. It's scary. It's really scary to play these teams because they have nothing to lose.
You underestimate a team, you don't play your best just because you feel it's going to be, quote unquote, you know, a free win. But that free win is a free loss. That's what happens.
我觉得黑马队的性质就是对当前版本有自己的一套独特的打法。
I think DC's, what they were doing the most at TI was really focusing on split pushing.
I could count 5 teams or even 10 teams that would be ahead of DC, but they go to the grand finals.
Misery, congratulations. How does it feel to take down the TI5 champs?
Holy shit, dude. That was a crazy ass game.
I always learn a lot watching these Dark Horses. Usually people just go to them and like, how did you make that happen?
How are you able to do that up against them?
And they always answer like, we don't know, and then they say something, but they actually know.
So, yeah, I don't know.
And what they say right after the we don't know is usually the key to the success they just had.
We kind of pulled some tricks in the draft that made them believe that a core hero was a core, when in fact it was a support all along.
DC went on like one of those crazy OG loser bracket win streaks. Once a team gets in the booth and they get used to the feeling of winning, it's kind of hard to stop them.
These kind of teams, they have a flow going on. It's something very unique, and they just roll throughout the tournament.
像 CDC 这支队伍的话，我觉得它是历届所有就是 TI 系列赛中，我觉得是最大的一匹黑马，因为他们是从外卡赛杀进来的一支亚军队伍，并且这支队伍的5个人全是第一次打 TI。
They struggled in the wildcards. They did. They almost didn't make it.
We did play them even 1 month before TI, and you know we just beat the crap out of them. And then 1 month later, they go to the international and they beat the crap out of everyone else.
What a letter's curse from Q! Demolishes 2 more! I don't know how, but they gave us CDEC again and again with the upsets!
It just caught every team off guard. And I think that's just like a perfect definition of what a Dark Horse is.
I think every year there's been an underdog that has impressed me.
One of the really hard-working teams from the open qualifiers just seems to surprise everyone. So I don't know what team that'll be.
Dark Horses just play a different kind of Dota too. They teach you a lesson. They teach you 2 lessons. It's very inspiring.
It's like a Cinderella story. And when you get those teams starting to beat ours, we showed everyone in the world that everyone can do it.